tonight, kind of an impromptu stream. It's been a lot going on this week, and I'm kind of just like, hey, I kind of want to do a stream tonight. So thank you guys for joining me. We got good old Spotchka and Brick Artemis in the house. What is going on, you guys?
Woo.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Brick, I cannot hear you for some reason.
Oh.
Brick. Oh, there we go. You're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Whew, scared me there.
Nope, we're good. So sorry we're starting late. We had some technical difficulties, so Mike was supposed to join us, but we just for some reason could not get his stuff to work. So Mike, appreciate you hanging out in the chat. I know you're in there, bro, but we will figure this out. And for next time, definitely we'll get you back in here, no doubt, dude. Sad we can't have you on the show tonight. But with that being said, guys, what is going on, man? Did you guys pick up any new stuff? I think backstage, I know Brick, we've been talking. Danny, I don't know if you've gotten anything new recently.
Not new, no, but maybe in the works soon. We'll see with the upcoming trip. Maybe if the Batman drops. I did get in line for the wait list for the Artisan Joker. Y'all are gonna make fun of me in the chat, and it's okay. I didn't know that you could put down a low deposit for a pre-order. Okay, I thought it was like, I knew it was like a deposit, but I thought it was like at least $100 or $200. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I didn't know it was gonna be like $40. So had I known that, I would have. I was already in line just watching it, and I could have done that, and I didn't.
Oh man!
But hopefully I get off of that wait list and get that figure. And if not, an art one is still available, and they're both amazing figures.
Yeah. Brick, I know you got a new pickup, dude. You want to talk about it real quick before we get started here?
Do you want me to talk about the Qui-Gon here, or do you want me to talk about?
Sure, man.
Okay.
Or what?
Man,
what else did you get? What else? Yeah, you can talk about Qui-Gon. You get anything else?
Yeah, I have the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man coming Monday, or no, Tuesday. So that will be here Tuesday, and the Snow Speeder Luke is going to be here Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you picked that one up.
Yeah, man. I was able to get this for a pretty nice deal. He's in the chat here. Andreas, if I'm saying that right, it might be Andreas, but I'm pretty sure it's Andreas. But him and I have been talking. He gave me a good deal on Qui-Gon, and excited to open him up and put him with Darth Maul, man.
Yeah, nice,
great.
dude.
They're going to pair really well together, dude.
I kind of want the death scene, but we'll see. See how good I can post.
Go for it, bro. Go for it.
Let's address the chat here. Yeah, so Andreas is in here. Thanks to Brick Artemis for introducing me to your channel. Andreas, thank you for being here, man. Yeah, that's really dope. Let's see. Reese is in the house. Yeah, welcome. What's good, brother Brick? Reese, you guys know Brick, right?
What's
or
good?
You guys know Reese. He's been in the chat. He's also another local Wisconsin guy that I met when I was selling all my Black Series stuff. So been chatting with him. Tighter FL's in the house. Dewback, let's go. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that for sure. Nick Bachman, hey, what's up, Nick? Mike, again, dude, sorry you're not in here, but thanks for staying in the chat, bro. Joey's saying hi to Brick, but nobody else. What's up, Joey? Sorry, Danny, I'm blocking off your face here with this chat, but who else we got here?
I become one with it.
Reese, let's talk about some nerd shit. No doubt. Reverse Zio in the house. Yo, what is up, bro?
Yo.
Really cool seeing him on Joey's. That was last night, right?
Yeah,
like,
last night.
I feel like I'm so mixed up, dude. That was really cool hanging out with him last night. Yeah, dude, he crushed it. It was really fun talking to him. Great dude.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get him on the collector tour at some point in the near future.
That'd be cool.
Bones is in the house. What's good, everyone? What is up, Bones? I love the profile picture, man.
Love the name. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's a cool name too.
Nice.
D-Lo the collector is in the house. What's up, boys? What is up,
What's up,
D-Lo?
D-Lo?
Am I allowed to do this?
brother?
Am I not allowed to do this?
Oh, dude, you can. It's okay,
Oh, you're giving me the permission. All right.
dude. Just spread the word, man.
Action in the box is here. Hello, friends. What is up, man? Happy to see you in here. Jedi Knights Watch is here. Can't stay long, but wanted to say hi to the panel in the chat. Hope you're all well. Yeah, dude. Appreciate you coming in here real quick. Love the cases. Yes, dude. Me too. This is basically what was in my DTOFs, and then I just threw it in there real quick, kind of. I kind of just already had them posed up, so I kind of just placed them in there, and then I have so much to open, I didn't really like organize this, too much. So
Fair enough. You were excited to just have your cases built and see your display. So yeah.
Yep. I'll get the figures in this weekend, though. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Recess Brick. I love that. Qui-Gon.
Oh, heck yeah.
Jedi. We're all wolves in here, baby. Let's go.
Yep.
Boba Fettuccine's in the house. What's up, cool folks? Also met him back on Copper Drop a few weeks ago. Very cool. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, Reversio, appreciate it, fellas. Last night was dope. Y'all about to bring the heat tonight. I'm sure we got some really good stuff to talk about tonight. I'm looking forward to it. After having it was pretty crazy this morning. Actually, it was like last night we got off the Copper Drop stream, and then basically
6 minutes later.
What'd you say, Danny?
It was 6 minutes later, dude.
Yeah, 6 minutes later. Okay, yeah. I don't know the time, but I'm like, I remember it was like the first time I looked at my phone, and then the Dewback drops. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Every time. I swear, Copper Drop, we've been on there a few times, and I think there's been a couple occasions of basically like a drop happening right after we get off the show, of course.
See, I feel like that's part of the reason why Joey wants to keep it going for as long as we do sometimes, is because he's hoping that like we'll have a release to talk about like really quick and be excited about, and then like we end it and immediately is when something gets released. It's like somebody in the Hot Toys community that's in the upper ranks is watching, is like, let me troll these fuckers and be like, no, you're not gonna get to talk about it tonight. You have to make a separate video, make Joey stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, Dewback. Can't wait to talk about it. We'll be talking about it for sure. Mike says that setup's looking great already. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, collector tour sneaker, give the people what they want. In time. Once I get it all displayed, like there's a lot I have to still do to get my stuff organized. I have a lot of figures to open. We're all waiting for the sneaker tour. Yeah, dude. I have all this like right here, all figures I gotta open in all these boxes right here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Filling up the theater.
Filling the other theaters, turning into my figure storage right now. With that being said, guys, let's talk about how things went this morning. I kind of talked about, Dewback dropped randomly like late, I guess you call that like late last night or early in the morning. Dewback dropped, and like what a way to build up the hype going into the day. I feel like we build up the hype. Dewback drops. Pretty hype Star Wars drop, at least for me. I know we talked about the Dewback a while back, Sideshow Con. Like, people thought like a lot of people were saying this is not going to make it. Like, this is going to the graveyard coming soon. It's going to be like that forever. I felt like at that time, I don't know, I'd have to go back and look, but I was like, I think this one's coming. I do. Thought like if Sideshow did a Dewback, I would think that Hot Toys will be able to do one.
As I recall, you did say on, I think it was either Copper Drop or one of our, like, maybe it's our, I don't think it was our tier list video, but you were like, it's definitely coming. Yeah.
It was. I think it was like when we were talking about. I think it was. I don't remember whose stream it was.
It was a Copper Drop.
Yeah, it might have even been. Yeah,
I know I did stream
Copper Drop or Wolfpack.
Yeah, I know
or
I did.
something.
Like
I heard you say it a couple times.
Stream. Yeah, I was like, I hope that. I think it was more too like I was hoping for it to come. Right.
You were accurate,
right?
Yeah. So super excited about that because I love Sandtroopers, and the Dewback's just awesome creature. And then we had the craziness of all the Anakin stuff. We're going to get into that. And we had the Joker yesterday. So let's maybe go in order. Let's talk about the Joker a little bit here. Danny, you kind of talked about a little bit about the Joker as far as I know you didn't pre-order it right away, but do you want to give your thoughts on the Joker here real quick? I'm going to transition us over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pull up the Joker page.
Yeah, dude.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, dude. This Artisan Joker is what a topic of debate. It's been several years, I think, since I've seen so much buzz around a Hot Toys figure, right? Even IGN was covering the Anakin, right? So I'm surprised myself that I didn't pre-order it. But then again, like I said earlier, with the Batman coming out, on top of that, we're supposed to be getting Kenobi on top of Cobb Vanth, on top of a bunch of other figures like. Brick just said he's getting his Andrew Spider-Man in. That's a figure I'm still debating on because that's one of the best looking Spider-Man suits. Moon Knight dropped earlier this year. There's been so much that's coming out this year that I just, and then I don't know, it hit waitlist and I don't know, we were doing Copper Drop and I was like, man. And as we were doing Copper Drop, dude, I was putting myself on the waitlist. So if you go back and watch the replay as I'm looking down as we're talking about it, it's when I'm adding myself to that waitlist, man. I think it's just as good as the in-art one. Like I've said on Copper Drop, I think that both sculpts represent a different look for the Joker throughout the film. In-art being the first latter half of the film, and the Hot Toys one being pretty much the second half of the film, if you will. I think they're both great. And it being as iconic of a character, yeah, man, I'm kind of beating myself up that I didn't get in line and just pay the $40 that I didn't know that you could do.
Yeah, for sure.
Ask more questions next time. Lesson learned, you know.
I'm going to try to transition us over here. Let's see if I can get this right.
What about you, Brick? Did you pre-order this?
Man, I was I was in line, and I think I could have made it if I stayed in, but I jumped out as soon as I heard the price. I'm like, dude, if I'm gonna get Anakin tomorrow, which is now today, and try for that and have all these other things coming in this week, like I can't keep telling my wife I spent like $500, you know.
Right.
Eventually you got to be like, I got to hold on this one. But I did have the sculpted in the cart for a while, but I haven't actually purchased it yet. So I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the sculpted's still available, right, for pre-order?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least it was.
Yeah, it's still,
when
it's
I
still
last
up.
checked,
Yeah, it's right here. I wanted to pull this up, like why you guys were talking. Sorry, I was trying to figure. I had to mess with my cameras because we were gonna have 4 cameras on here, so I had to mess with this real quick. But yeah, so the sculpted obviously is still available, and it's also not just on Sideshow, obviously. Yeah, it's still available.
I mean, dude, to be honest with you, Brick, the sculpted's not a bad way to go because
no, not at all.
The rooted
really
look, it's still I want to say a testing waters kind of deal because we've only had it around for the last, few years and on toys. Sure. I don't count the Chewbacca. I don't count all rooted figure, but like this hyper realistic, we're still in the touching surface round of that. Right. So this being the Joker, right. Steve, Brick, do you guys think that this is going to, obviously is going to get more iterations throughout the years, but is there going to be a more definite ultimate version of this character down the line and maybe even in this Artisan line?
I don't think anytime soon. I think we're going to have this for a while. I mean,
and
not only that, but like the rooted version, the Artisan rooted version is like just the rooted hair in general is like just far superior than anything we've seen with Hot Toys, even if it has been, a while since they've done rooted. But this is going to be like the Joker for quite some time, I think, personally.
100%, yeah.
I think they just wanted to put out their version because, InArt is competition, and they wanted to show that they can do it too, and you don't have to get a double pack. You can just choose this one, and they wanted to put some spice in it with the tongue, and so they came out with their version, and we'll see what it looks like when it actually comes out.
And I think Nick was saying last night that it looks like the same as the updated 2.0 Joker from the neck down, right? So what we're essentially looking at here, the same thing with Anakin, right, is just an updated head.
Same clothes. Yeah, why would they update it?
Right, and that's a big reason I think that I didn't pre-order it, right? Or I didn't rush to, just stay in that line is because $500 for a head sculpt, man, is what I'm thinking. Because if you have a dark side Anakin, you're just paying for that head sculpt. It's the same figure.
But the head sculpt's so good, dude.
But the head sculpt's so good, so where does the line?
Yeah, I just want to hit these couple comments here from Jedi Knight's Watch. Rooted Joker looks inaccurate to me, and then he says the sculpted looks better. I do think, like, if you look at these pictures here, like, I feel like this picture especially, if you go just back and forth between these two, I do like the sculpted. Like, I do like the sculpted look.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
And it'll be interesting to see because I know that these photos are, like, a little bit older now. I guess they're not too old, but like the sculptor who did the Joker, like, I don't know if did you guys see like the actual sculpted prototype? Like he's got an Instagram, I can send it to you guys, but it looks really good. Like the one, and I don't know, I feel like they still have a year. Are they going to make some tweaks to the hair potentially? I don't know.
I mean, there is always that 10% difference in how it looks from.
So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out with the hair. Like, and I feel like it's also, I feel like it's easy to talk about the hair for this. Like, if we weren't looking at what the InArt Joker rooted hair looks like, and then looking at this one, I feel like our opinions would probably be a little bit different as far as like how the rooted hair looks, because InArt did it so well. You know what I mean? 100%. I do think like the InArt rooting is better.
So kind of going off what Jedi was talking about, it, if the Artisan version was not limited but had the same price difference, do you think the sculpted would have sold more or would be selling more due to the fact of the price?
That's a really good question.
I don't know, man. Because they've had so many Jokers before, right?
Sure.
Like when was the last DX Joker release from the Dark Knight? was it 2-3 years ago, maybe a little bit more.
I'm not sure exactly when it was, but
the 2.0
it was
version.
it was a few years ago, but
it's still a relatively new figure.
Yeah, I don't know, just for rooted hair and to have it almost $200 more, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it would have sold as fast. I think it'd probably still sell more or the way it has, but not as fast, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, like, comparison wise, like how many they sell. That's like that's a good question. Reese says, I agree, his Widow's Peak looks funny. Mike says, this is a good question. Like, is there a technical difference in the word rooted versus how they used to do hair? In other words, is it just better material, or does rooted mean a different application of the hair? I'm pretty sure. So there's a really good video on YouTube that shows like the making, like behind the scenes of like them talking about their decision to craft this figure and like what they went through. You guys should check it out. It's not a very long video. It's a little over 10 minutes. And the process that they're doing for these new figures is the way that they're rooting it is new compared to what they've done in the past. They said, like, they talk about it in the video, how they found a new, like, more advanced technique, which kind of made it so that they pulled the trigger also on, basically because they discovered this, and now there's this new advanced technique that made them pull the trigger on going back and, like, redoing the Joker because it's been a while since they've done it. Like Graham says here, DX11 came out forever ago. I was going to say, I don't think one came out, like, DX11 was the last one to come out, right?
Yeah.
I think 2.0 version, right?
I don't remember, like, wrong. I don't remember. I know there's like been some variations of the Joker, but I think this one that they were going for, like the revamp of the Dark Knight, was one that they wanted to, that they hadn't revisited in a while.
100%.
So, yeah, Graham thinks like 2011. I don't know if
geez.
I know there's like some other.
I was thinking like 2016 or something.
I know there's like some other iterations,
but
regardless, in the video they talk about it. It's a really cool video. Like, I would recommend you guys go check it out. They talk about like why they kind of showed their mindset picking the figure, what sculpt they wanted to go with, because there's so many different variations of how the Joker looks, you know, in the movie. Like, you could just pick so many different types of, you know, facial expressions and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, but yeah, you guys should check that video out.
Test to act, like, I'm wondering if, because the Dark Knight just had its 15th anniversary not too long ago, right? A few weeks ago. If the in-art figure was never made, wouldn't Hot Toys have gone ahead and released this figure, right?
I think potential. I don't know. I don't know. That's a really good question. I think in-art pushed them to do this. I think in-art. I think the Artisan Edition stuff was definitely fueled by in-art. I think that's a pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it was
pretty obvious thing.
It was probably. Sorry, it was probably in the talks already, and once they saw in-art's version, they were like, "Yeah, we're doing it." No doubt. Like, you know, now we are pushing it. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
but I agree. I think the sculpted looks really, really good, and I think it's really nice. I think we'll talk about when we get to Anakin, but it's really nice how you have the option. Oh, if you don't get rooted, you can get the sculpted. One thing that I thought was interesting, was I guess like they didn't really that like what I just said as far as they chose to do a sculpted for the Joker, but also that you had to get into the queue in order to get the sculpted as well. I thought that was interesting. You had to RSVP to even pre-order the sculpted, and if you didn't do that, you didn't get the ability to, like, I think Graham was saying that, wasn't he, Break, about how like he was trying to pre-order the sculpted initially when this dropped, and he couldn't get in because it said RSVP only initially, even on the sculpted, even though it's not limited.
And he was so worried too, because he was like, what if this sells out and you know he can't even get that? So
yeah, I thought that was like really interesting. I don't know why they didn't just drop the sculpted. I mean, maybe that was a way to try to drive the hype up for this one too, to get people to like want to buy it, you know, like RSVP. If you want the sculpted, you should RSVP. I'm sure the majority of people did RSVP for the sculpted and bought it, you know. I think that was I would think that was probably like part of the like driving the hype. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about as far as the Joker goes? I know I kind of want to get into Anakin a little bit too, and kind of talk about this whole process. I won't bring up too much of the process, since I'm sure we'll combine it once we talk about Anakin. And I think like, as far as it seemed like overall yesterday versus today for the pre-ordering process, like this was the test going into Anakin, right? Like to see how the queue system went. And I will say, like, we'll get into Anakin. Once we talk about Anakin, I'll kind of go into some of the differences that obviously there were some differences between the queue and everything, the process
Oh
of
gosh.
it's the same process, but there were differences and some curveballs between getting this figure and getting the Anakin figure, because Star Wars is king and it built up all the hype. That's what I'll say. Star Wars is king, man. Everybody wants the Anakin, man, going crazy over the Anakin for sure. Let's just what's that?
This is the way.
This is the way. Everybody wants that Anakin. Joey had mentioned it. I'm a Heath Ledger expert. The face sculpt is preferred over in art. Yeah, I know Joey's like all about that Hot Toys face sculpt right now. Mike said just sent you some Instagram some pictures. Yeah, the sculpted photos on JC Honks has some pictures on there. They look really, really good if you guys haven't checked them out. Like I saw that and I was like, dang, that looks really, really good. So obviously this is on waitlist. I know Danny, you said waitlist. Brick, are you not interested at all of potentially picking this up in the future?
I'm interested, but I know I'm not going to do it. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, it'd be cool, but I know it's not going to happen. Now the sculpted version, I see myself getting, but the rooted, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I think
even though I think it looks, I love it, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be right there with you, brother. If the wait list just never opens up for the artisan version, I guess I'll just go with sculpted, and that's not gonna be the end of the world because I think the overall shape, like silhouette of the hair, looks better on the sculpted. Yeah, but like we were kind of commenting on last night, Steve, it's kind of a piece in Hot Toys history, right? Of their first new line, which so far has sparked a lot of positive controversy and a little bit of mixed controversy in the community. So.
Yeah, I think like with that being said, right, these are figures that if you get them, you're not gonna like. For me, like I would never. This is kind of like the original Dark Side Anakin. I look at that figure, like even if they came out with a variation to that, I probably wouldn't get rid of that figure because it just is a really meaningful figure, the original one. So if they end up redoing it, I'll probably end up keeping that one anyways. But I forget exactly what. So like. Yeah, these figures are going to be ones, even if they were to go redo these down the line, like with it being the very first Artisan Edition release, is something that I'm going to probably want to always have in the collection. You know 100%. What I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's like really cool. And it's something that like not that like I care too much about what other people have, but it brings some variation between people's collection, and it's going to, looking back on it, it's going to be cool.
100%. It brings a certain exclusivity to your collection and gets you almost, I don't want to say a validation, but almost like a sense of an endorphin rush in your head of like, oh my God, this is in my collection. This is in front of my eyes. Like for me, like the Dark Side Anakin, I never thought I'd ever see that in front of my face, let alone in my collection. I thought I'd see it maybe at a comic book shop, or I'd only see it on YouTube videos. So once that was in hand, I'm like, holy crap. So there.
Yeah, that's another thing, Dan. You have the option if you're going to pick up a Joker when this stuff drops. Like, I would just be patient and wait for these to drop, and then just determine what you want to do, because you're going to have options as far as what you want to pick up secondary market wise.
It's a good time for me to just be getting slowly into the DC collecting because it's just starting to pick up. So
yeah.
It's always hard when you get into a new IP,
Yeah. I know you feeling it right now with the Star Wars. It's hard to
because you can't just have one Star Wars figure, right? Like even
Pringles.
though I'm more of a Marvel guy, it's like, well, you just can't have one Star Wars, and that's why it took me a while to do it, because I knew I was going to do that.
Like a Pringles can, bro. You pop one, and you just start eating the whole can, bro.
Yeah.
Just cheddar cheese Pringles. That's
when
what
it's left out on the counter. You just can't stop eating it.
The cheddar cheese ones, man, just smash those by the can.
Did you say the cheddar cheese, dude? For off topic, but fiery is the way to go. Have you never had the fiery Pringles, dude?
Like the hot ones?
It's like the hot barbecue, but the jalapeno ones.
Oh, dude, I prefer those cheddar
salt
ones, man.
And vinegar,
the orange ones.
Come on.
Salt and vinegar is okay, but cheddar cheese ones are the best.
And barbecue.
You can let us know what the best Pringles can is, but Pringles can is. I'm gonna say cheddar cheese is a Star Wars of Pringles cans. If
you're with Splash, let us know. Fiery jalapeno down below.
Mike says, Brick, way to practice restraint, bro. So Reese said the real question is it good enough to make Sneaker buy something other than Star Wars? So Reese, I actually got this. I got this Artisan, this rooted Joker. I pre-ordered this. So I'm gonna have it. I also have the in-art ones. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What'd you say?
You're a hacker.
Hacker.
I'm just kidding.
Look, I told you, Steve, if you decide to sell that gel cell Joker, sell it to your boy. I'm just saying.
It's so like I always say all this, like it's so hard for me to sell figures, man. And I have it, and then it's like And then it's like we don't really know what's going to happen as far as as far as like what InArt's going to look like in a couple years for that figure. You know what I mean? Like that's their first release too. That's something that is like really cool to have in the collection as well.
Talking about that sentiment value, bro.
Yeah, and they're going to be coming out with this Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Would probably like they're going to be talking about it probably within the next year and a half, I would assume.
Yeah.
Probably within the release of the new movie, yeah.
And they're talking about that being a potential 2-pack premium, with like a cool, I think I saw like a Q&A with, I think it's John from InArt who had also said like they might be doing, he hinted that like a stairs like a diorama of the stairs when he's like dancing on the stairs could potentially be part of that package, which I think would just be so dope to display that.
And again, not to keep it on about the Joker, but like that, in my opinion, would set that over this one, right? Because you've got the stairs, you've got him dancing, you can have him dance into the Rock and Roll Part 2 song, dude. Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, John got very interested on one of the live feeds too a few months back when I asked about TMNT InArt figures, just kind of as a joke, and they had like a whole conversation about it. And he was like, "Would you guys be interested?" And the panel was like, "Oh yeah, for sure." Like, there's
the
no
1/6. For TMNT. Like, doesn't Graham have the? I want to say NECA.
I think he sold it.
He had the from the movies. Yeah. I have the cartoon NECA versions if you want them. So
that's cool.
Giant size. I'll give you a super deal, dude.
TMNT.
Mike says, so the Joker's technically the first artisan figure in the line, not Anakin, unless Anakin ships first. I don't know what one is the first. I don't know, because like in the reveal they showed Anakin first and they said coming soon, like stay tuned for our new top-notch figure line, and they showed Anakin. So I guess we'll find out when they drop. Maybe like I don't know if these are gonna have. I guess I don't know if it shows it on here. Like I don't think it really does.
I don't think so.
It's like July 2024, right?
Well, I was gonna say I don't think it shows like what if it's like a like any type of like what the name of the actual product is, like DX A, like A, is it AE for? Is it gonna be like AE for Artisan Edition, or like what are they gonna? How are they gonna like name and number?
AE2.
Yeah, how are they gonna number these? I guess it doesn't really matter, but they kind of go in tandem, right? Because they're both dropping at the same time.
Yeah,
but,
I can see it because they have TMS, MMS, AE would be cool.
Yeah,
or MMS, AE.
Also, Danny, one thing you said, like this is like they talk about this in this description, commemorating the 5th anniversary of the Dark Knight movie. So like they're kind of swinging it in that way of like, oh, it's the 15th anniversary, we redid this figure, but in our
very tongue in cheek of them.
Yep. With that being said, any last thoughts on Joker before we talk about the Anakin roller coaster from this morning?
I'm just hoping it doesn't take till December of 2024 to release.
Oh, it will.
Hopefully
It might even be longer.
Oh.
Let's talk about this guy here. Danny, why don't you give us your thoughts, because you're like completely opposite. Like Brick and I obviously chased this. You were kind of like right away when this came up, you were like, you go ahead. I'll let you share.
Yeah, because I feel like I was the only collector on the planet that wasn't. I know that there was more than just me, but it felt like I was the only collector on at least these panels and these streams that were just like, that is cool, but not for me. For me, particularly, at least for this character in Revenge of the Sith in my display personally, and this isn't just because I have the Revenge of the Sith Dark Side Anakin, y'all. I like having the hood up. I like having that Temple Jedi March looking scene. I like the badass like Jedi Knight look to him. Almost said master there. And with this, I feel like a lot of people are kind of forgetting about the Episode 2 Anakin. And the way I view my collection, I'm like, okay, I can only have, if I'm going to do duplicates of a character, especially like a big one, right? I can get away with like maybe 2-3 max of variants of the character, right? And I include Darth Vader in that because that's freaking Darth Vader, right? So Darth Vader, Dark Side Anakin, and now I'm stuck between, this one or Episode 2. And in my opinion, dude, Episode 2 has the better head sculpt to Hayden Christensen. Now, don't get me wrong. The rooted look on this looks really damn good. Better than the Joker, in my opinion. This looks really nice. But also, this is a promo image. Maybe my opinion will change once this comes out. But again, it's if they would have went with real leather, maybe I would have gone with it. But I just, to me, and having the dark side Anakin, you can tell it looks, if not the exact same scope, maybe with like a slight paint difference. I know the paint scheme on his face with the dark side version is a tad darker, just because of the Mustafar effect background or whatever. But this is an amazing release. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't for me personally. I enjoyed watching the craziness that was people in line for this figure. And I'm happy for my buddies like you and everybody else who was able to pick this one up. I just, not for me.
Yeah. I can appreciate that, dude. And good on you for not getting into all the craziness, for sure.
Dude, they should have just given me real leather and I would have caved in.
It would have been really nice. Like, I am bummed that, like, basically the only pull of the Artisan series is that they're doing rooted hair. You know what I mean?
Like, if they would have just given real leather.
This is not really much else outside of like a different base, an LED lightsaber, which they could have done both lightsabers because they're lighting up both these lightsabers, and only the blue one's gonna be LED. You know, the Dooku one's not gonna be an LED lightsaber, right?
Oh, that's gonna annoy the shit out of so many people.
Oh yeah, so like that's why they, and also then like I was looking too, they're doing Clone Wars Palpatine. He gets 2 LED or 2 USB lightsabers. So it's like, why not just do like a USB one? You know, for this one too. They could easily have done that. I don't know. Like it can't be that hard. If they can do it with like this, with that hilt, I don't see why they couldn't do it with any of the other ones. That was kind of a questionable, I think, design choice for this. But yeah, you don't get much. I mean, from the neck down, it's all the same. And then you get a new base and a USB lightsaber.
I ain't hating it. It just feels lazy.
And then you get a decision like Indiana Jones where they go all out, full on, and do all this leather. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting. This would have been really, really nice if you're going to go and you're going to make it limited like that. Like, I know everybody's been kind of saying this, but use something other than pleather.
Right.
Because,
and not to mention that base that Indiana Jones came with too. They went all out for that. You gave him an entire diorama.
Yeah. And this base is
and that
cool.
wasn't even Artisan.
This base is pretty cool, but it's like limited posability too because it's pretty narrow. But I'm just like the pleather kind of. Just to have this figure into all the, and then all of a sudden you start getting peeling of the pleather would just be bad.
To be fair, like I haven't had mine. Yours isn't peeling, right?
No,
mine isn't either. So I don't know, but
yeah, I have a couple Anakins, and like they have like little. There's like little. So the light side one, the dark side I have. There's a little bit of variance in the pleather. Like there's a couple different spots that are just like shaped a little bit differently, but I think it's just the nature of the material. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you can see like it creases differently in certain areas and stuff, but it is what it is. But it would have been so nice to have leather. And it would have looked so good. You know what I mean? So yeah. Maybe they will. I mean, maybe they will like as they advance this line. I don't know.
But will they release another Anakin? Because the Revenge of the Sith, what is it, 20th anniversary now? Comes up in less than 2 years. Around the time we're going to Tokyo for celebration.
Is it 2025?
Yeah.
The 20th?
Yeah. 2025. You know, in 2005. So,
you know, a lot of people are saying that the rooted dark side Anakin's coming soon. They might hold off on that one until 2025.
I just like, I just don't. Yeah. I think rooted dark side would be cool, but like, why do a rooted dark side when you have a rooted Anakin when there's other figures you could explore?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They could do so much more.
They could do so all over again. If you're going to do Artisan and this is going to be a limited line, I feel like they're probably not going to just put all their eggs in one basket of Anakin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could do so many, and also, I mean, I guess what that would basically do is you're only changing like a couple things on the face, and then they probably would give a new base. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to change much. I guess they could do it, but I don't really know.
It would sell though, right?
Well, it would sell for sure. I think we're gonna see another dark side Anakin at some point. I don't think.
Sure.
I don't know if it necessarily comes in the form of Artisan, unless.
Well, let me ask you: do you want to see that though? Like with the,
I mean, I would want it
coming up. Do we want to see that another Anakin, or do we want to in chat too? Do we want to see General Grievous? Do we want to? See
I personally would rather see if we have this Anakin Artisan. I would personally rather see them do a different Star Wars figure rather than dark side Anakin.
Exactly. Same.
You know what I mean?
an updated Chewbacca, like an actual artisan Chewbacca, would go crazy. Like they actually meticulously put in that work.
that would be really
like the
that
actual
would be insane. I feel like
that would
these
be
ones
really cool.
It would be so hard to do. I feel like these ones are saying they're I think part of this being limited too is the time that it takes to root these root the hair. Like imagine doing it on a head sculpt, and then imagine doing it on a whole entire figure body. Like
well, in that case, I want them to attach a flash drive to my box, and then I want the flash drive to contain the behind the scenes of them rooting it and showing me the process.
Yeah, every strand.
I feel like if they did Chewbacca, it would be extremely, extremely difficult, or extremely limited rather. Like there would not be a lot of them if they did a Chewbacca.
Like I could see them coming out with an artisan dark side. I really could, but it seems to me like they're trying right now to get. I mean, they have the Joker for DC, like one of the biggest figures of DC, right? They have Anakin, who's one of the biggest figures in Star Wars. So, are they going to try to do a Marvel figure 100%. Next? Or are they going to do? You know what I mean? So how soon are they going to do another Star Wars? Like you mentioned, Chewbacca or something like that. Like I think they're going to go slow and steady and kind of break it up in different, like Marvel. They might even do bring back like a Predator artisan or something like that, something like that could be really cool.
And I see and this is 2 of these. Who knows when they're going to announce the next one? And then you look at how long it takes them. What'd you say, Danny?
Rather soon, right? Because last time we were talking, I forget who said.
I don't know.
They said they could do a Thor, which would be really sick.
Thor would be cool, but are they going to do artisan? Are they going to be doing artisan figures that often too? Like we don't know. We literally don't know how many they're going to make, what figures they're going to what figure they're going to do next.
I would say it's going to take a little time to see how well, because we know that these figures sold really well, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to take some time to see from Hot Toys for them to see how successful it is for them.
Sure.
And go from there. Be like, okay, this is how many we sold. Maybe given this is an artisan line, this is like a limited line only dedicated to the top tier characters, right? That deserve the artisan line. Like short-haired characters like Superman, no. Tony Stark,
right?
No. Depending on which Tony Stark. Iron Man 1, yes. But
I could see them too trying not to only do these 2 this year because they don't want artisan to die. You don't want to wait a whole another year before you finally another artisan figure. So I could see them coming or announcing one more Q4, October, November, announcing something. Yeah. But after that, it's probably one a quarter.
And then if they do a couple a year, and you're looking at how long it takes these to come out, like these ones are going to come out in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Over the course of 10 years, how many artisan figures are we looking at realistically? That's why I say, are they going to spend the time to go do a dark side Anakin one? You know what I mean? I guess the main thing, the easiest thing, they have the body, they have all the stuff that they could use. They're basically just doing the sculpt, and it's easy to do. But I feel like for them to root that, they know that everybody wants that figure in particular. They probably would make that I don't think they root it. I think they do a Dark Side 2.0 and make it like a general release.
If they do, and I think if it's not during the Revenge of the Sith anniversary, I think it'll definitely be at least 5-6 years out before they even touch it again.
Yeah, if they were to use up Artisan again on another Anakin, I just feel like that's not the greatest choice when they could do so many other, especially Jedi.
Sure.
Like so many Jedi have long hair. Qui-Gon Jinn, you could do an Obi-Wan that has long hair. There's just so many options as far as other Star Wars characters.
Mace Windu, like Austin said.
But the thing that InArt does the same thing, right? So InArt will announce these figures, and they've had one come out, and they have so many figures in the pipeline that are yet to come out. So I mean, the thing that Hot Toys has is that they can announce these figures, not worry about rushing them out, because they have the 60 plus figures that come out yearly now anyways. So people aren't going to feel like they're waiting too long for this Anakin or for the Joker because all the other figures coming out. Whereas InArt, you've got to wait just to have something from them, But
see, if they were smart, they would release their Batman relatively soon, right? Like I would. The Hot Toys one's supposed to be out. I've heard like September, October, right?
I think November. Isn't it like end of the year, November, December? They're talking about InArt Batman, InArt the Batman. I thought they delayed it to the end of this year.
I heard.
I could be wrong.
I heard it was getting delayed end of this year, beginning of next year.
Yeah, okay, so it might be pushing to 2024. I just know, that's what I heard too. Mike had said they didn't do USB Dooku Saber because they probably want it to be a motivating factor in selling you the next Dooku rather than using the new Saber with your old Dooku. That's a fair point, man.
Are they going to make another Dooku though? Is my question. Because if they do, Tales of the Jedi is the way to go.
I think a lot of I think if they did a younger Dooku, that would be super awesome. But I don't see them making another Dooku anytime soon. Like they just went through all of this, like all this Attack of the Clones stuff, right? I don't see them doing it anytime soon. They just dropped so many figures from that line. Reese said that's fair. Still feels like it's cutting corners. Feel like maybe I think they did cut some corners as far as like what they could have done more so. But then again, maybe they just mean, Artisan Edition is just a high quality sculpt, like head sculpt.
Right.
What I mean? Like I was going to ask you guys. Head sculpt, because this is a different head sculpt and it looks incredible. Like if it comes out, if this head sculpt, let's just say if this comes out looking like this is probably going to be my favorite Anakin figure that I have, no doubt. Like this just looks like I could see people getting this confused with a real photo. It's that it's that good. With it, when these like came out, it looks really.
I was gonna go. What were you gonna ask us, Brick?
Before I get to that question, I was gonna kind of go off what you were saying earlier with the episode 2 Anakin head sculpt looking better and everything. I like that look. Like the look of that Anakin is my favorite Anakin look. But this head sculpt right here is, in my opinion, just 10 out of 10. Like this is something that I would, kill to have another chance this morning with.
And I think that's where Artisan line comes. I think that's where Artisan line comes into play of like they're going to be doing these really, really like immaculate head sculpts. Not that their other work isn't really like meticulously detailed and everything, but this is like another level of an Anakin sculpt,
right?
Versus
and I think Artisan is. I don't think they're just going to stick with rooted hair figures. I think it's like you're saying right now, like just really detailed head sculpts. Like
that's a really interesting point. Like, are they only going to root these?
I don't think so, because if they do Marvel, I don't see their first Marvel figure being Thor. As cool as that would be, but I would think like Iron Man, Spider-Man, one of those two, Captain America, maybe, Doctor, maybe I could,
it's like the main line,
something like that.
Yeah,
but can you imagine like an Artisan looking like Tony Stark head sculpt, or
just something they
Chris
really
Evans
put a lot of time,
or something like that.
Take a lot of time to do.
If they did
a cap that you can actually pose.
I mean, that would be great. Do Tony Stark from Iron Man 1 or 2 when he's got the more wavy, poofy hair and not the short like fade. So
right.
Peyton is in the house. What is up, everyone? Peyton, happy you're here, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Reese said, good night, gents. He must be going to bed. Good night. Sleep tight, mall man. The dude is like the mall genius. Let me take a look.
Not going to bed. He becomes Darth Maul.
He becomes Darth Maul. Mike says, rooted Sabine. My wife is aware of my feelings. She's my hall pass. Inart is November. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Inart is November for the Batman. Graham knows, even though he says he's not. I don't think he's really going to get it, but he knows when that figure's coming out, because I think it's tugging at his heartstrings a little bit.
Graham, are you going for the Hot Toys one, or
he pre-ordered it? I think
he's doing Hot Toys. Yeah.
Yomo's in the house. Yo, what is up, dude?
Yo,
happy to see you in here.
What's up,
Mike also said they should mind Tales of the Jedi hard with Hollywood slow down now. It's I think like Tales of the Jedi, like they could do some cool figures from that, and I think they're making more Tales of the Jedi episodes as well.
Yeah, we're getting a season 2.
Yep. And then Mike says, it's definitely a 10 out of 10, which is why I hope they do sculpted. Yeah. This would be this would obviously look really, really good sculpted too, which is like, that's what I was saying. It's really interesting that they chose to do a sculpted Joker. Why do an Artisan Anakin rooted and not include a sculpted of this same exact thing? You guys have any thoughts on why they did like the decision behind that?
I was gonna ask that. Like, it's weird that they had Joker one for an option for people, because for people normal, like, let's just say there's some Hot Toys fanatics out there that just, like, I guess Replay Toys is an example, right? They confuse some Sideshow and third party figures for Hot Toys, right? They don't know what NART is. They don't know that they're not even sellers of that. So with that in mind, if you're going on the Sideshow website and you see this, you're like, what in the hell? What, like, why does it have like Barbie doll like hair? That's someone's like who is not fanatic over this artisan line would say. And they're looking at it like, I don't know about that. Oh, they got a sculpted Joker. Okay, let me go with that instead because I'm used to that. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't want to spend a pre-order. I don't want to spend the extra $100 or $200 for the rooted. That makes sense. But for this Anakin dude, they 100% should have gone with a sculpted look because fans have been asking for years now. I mean, I still remember like on streams, people keep asking. I remember if it's like when Kenobi was coming out, when the 501st Troopers got announced, and they showed a picture of the dark side Anakin with the hood up. Everybody was like, "Oh."
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
You guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
You're back.
Sorry, we just like synced out for, or like I guess went out for a second, then synced back up.
I thought it was me for a second. I was about to be pissed.
Nope, no, we're good. I can still see you guys. Sorry about that.
Break.
Sorry about that. Yep, commercial break, technical difficulties. We all just power went out for a second. So I'm sorry, Danny.
Back. No, you're good. Where was I?
I don't remember.
I don't.
You were talking about when right before it stopped. You had said something about how the 501st with Anakin walked out. Yeah. Everybody's like, I was like, right when we cut out, I was like, Dark Side 2.0 re-release. Then we just, and then we got
exactly.
we got Order 66 off stream.
There you go, commercial break time. So when the 501st Troopers were announced, everybody was like, oh my god, shit. Riley, Will, everyone was covering. Oh my god, we're having a new Anakin Skywalker releasing. Nothing happened. A year went by and some change, and now we have this. People are going to be upset about the fact that we didn't get the sculpted. Just alone the fact that people are going to want an Anakin, and people are going to miss out on this one because it's limited.
Yeah. I think a sculpted is coming. I think the reason they did not make a sculpted one like they did with the Joker is because they already have an Anakin out there for pre-order, and they didn't want to have 3 Anakins out for pre-order right now. And risk episode 2 Anakin like not really going off the shelf. So a sculpted one is coming. I bet you within next year we'll probably hear about it, or the 20-year anniversary. It's coming. So, but I don't think they wanted too many Anakins out there. So they put this one out there to kind of like, hit Inart in the chin a little bit, just to be like, here's something else too. Yeah. Check this out.
Graham's got to head out. Got to run, fellas.
All right, Graham.
Getting some rest for the big drive home tomorrow. Safe travels, bro. That's a good point. Like if they drop a sculpted Anakin, Attack of the Clones is not going to sell well. Also, interestingly enough, I was all over the groups today, just kind of getting people's takes and kind of seeing in the comments what people were saying about this. And somebody put up the Attack of the Clones in one of the groups. They put up a screenshot of the Attack of the Clones Anakin. And they said, well, this isn't a bad consolidation prize. So like this is what I was saying before. If people don't get this, and Brick, you were kind of in the same boat. You were like, hey, if I don't get this rooted Anakin, I'm gonna get the Attack of the Clones one. Yep, you know what I mean? And it's not a bad, like, I don't feel like that's necessarily a bad choice either. No. I mean, I'm gonna get the Attack.
Not at all.
Especially if you have Yoda and Obi-Wan. No Obi-Wan. Count Dooku.
Yeah, dude. You have I hate you guys, including like the rest of the community, for getting me into Star Wars. Because the more I talk, you guys are like mentioning other figures. I'm like, I got to get a Yoda. Got to do all this.
The Attack of the Clones Yoda within the past, like, man, since I started collecting, like, I don't know, in the past 6 months is just selling for $350 plus. Like that thing's gone crazy. It's an awesome figure too.
I love guy.
He's small. He's small, but he's a really cool. He's a really cool figure though. Man. He is so cool. Yeah, Danny will grab his. I just want to get back to this comment that Mike had said. I think we can already assume Artisan means rooted because only the rooted Joker has the tag Artisan attached to it, and the hair is the only difference. That's a really good point. I never thought about that, but yeah, like it's only Artisan is only linked to the rooted. Yeah, Yoda, dude, it's so cool, man.
That is true. That's a good point.
Yeah. So like Artisan is only linked to the rooted figures. So Yomo says,
so I saw.
To get this. Sorry.
Oh,
I think I'm the only one. I'm the only one that got this one. I'm the only one that got Anakin. Danny wasn't interested. Brick will talk about his story here in a couple minutes.
I saw that comment from
go ahead.
Jedi.
No, go ahead.
Again, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. There's probably just a little delay.
Talking about, maybe Marvel's not going to be a part of it, and maybe not. I mean, unless you go the female route, But other than Thor, I mean, who's got long hair, men wise? So that I can think.
I don't know who
now.
they would even do. I don't even know who they would do Marvel. And then it's like, well, we'll talk. Well, maybe we'll talk after when we wrap this up. We can talk about kind of who we think might what they might do
Morbius.
Next. But yeah. I think the sculptor will be revealed for the anniversary because I think this will be next year for. I think that'll be next year for Revenge of the Sith. I can see they're probably gonna do another Anakin for Revenge of the Sith anniversary. We already know there's gonna be a Revenge of the Sith anniversary, and we're gonna get another Anakin.
When we should be getting a 2.0 Obi-Wan. Dude, we have like 5 Anakins coming out, but we can't get another Obi-Wan, man. Come on.
Dude, yeah. I want an Obi-Wan from Phantom Menace so bad.
Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and an updated Revenge of the Sith. Is that so much to ask for, Hot Toys? Come on.
This is so much to ask for us to just give us all these, every single. I'll get every Obi-Wan. He's my favorite character. Like, just give me all the Obis. I love Obi-Wan. That Obi-Wan Padawan would just be so cool, man. And it's like I said, there's so many lines that they have where it's just like, what were you guys thinking when it's like, like we have episode 1, Darth Maul and Qui-Gon. Then we got Rogue One. They didn't do Baze Malbus or Bodhi Rook. Like, they could have also done Saw Gerrera. Like, they just miss these random. It's like they'll do all these and then they're like, oh, we'll just be done. We'll just be done for now. We're not going to do the last person in the group. It'd be like Guardians of the Galaxy. It'd be like them releasing all these new Guardians from Volume 3 and them like just leaving out like Nebula or something. Just Nebula's not there. Oh, like what? You know what I mean? It's just like, why don't they? Why don't they?
Or no Groot, just gone.
Like you just miss a complete main character of the of the show. That's kind of how I feel about it. But anyways, I digress. Let's get into a little bit about how this went today.
Oh man,
Rick, you want me to talk about kind of my experience first?
Sure.
So I had my computer loaded up and I was on the site relatively early, and then once. Like I just already had it up. It doesn't really matter when you had it up as long as you get in by the queue time or whatever. But so I had it up. I don't know, maybe like a couple hours beforehand. I just had it up on my like computer already ready. And then at the 25-minute mark, so whatever Central Time, which was 10:35 ish, right? Was when they did like the 25-minute countdown. So that was when they queue like 25-minute countdown to the queue. Queue hits, line is paused, obviously. My number's 9. I forget exactly what it was. 900 something, 920 or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. But I was in the 900s, 947 maybe. And then like we were all talking, right? Like everybody's texting. So like one thing about this is like, I feel like this is probably, I've been collecting kind of a shorter time, like since I guess it's almost been a year. This is by far the most hype it's been in the community since I've been collecting 6 scale for sure. Like this has been the most hype I've seen. The most hype and the most talked about stuff that I've seen is this, like these past couple days. Everybody is talking about these figures, which I think is just really good for the hobby in general. But with that, I just wanted to make that point because I think it's an important one. Like this is just like, it was crazy. I was like messaging like Danny, I was messaging like our group. I'm messaging like Brick and Graham. I'm texting other people. I'm just like sending stuff on Instagram. Like we're all just messaging like what spot are you in line? Everybody's just going nuts, right? Like that doesn't happen too often, and like I thought like
you were never that excited in the mornings, dude. Like you were
because I'm at work, bro.
You were like
because I'm at work at 6 or 6:30 in the morning.
Man,
I was up and ready.
You were up.
I was up and ready. But so I got in, and then the queue gets pushed to 9:15. It's like and then like I freaked out. I was talking to one of my friends, and I was like, I just don't know. Like once they put the queue, once it like said. The pre-orders are going to begin the queue is going to start at 9:15. So they pushed it 15 minutes. And then they said, everybody in the queue is going to be assigned a different number. So I'm like, whoa, I'm like 9, whatever. 9. I'm in the 900s. They're going to reset everybody's number. Fortunately, like I didn't have any issue. Like I actually went upwards. I think I went like the high 800s or something like that. I went up by like 20 or 30. I forget. My number didn't really change much. And then I ended up getting, I'm sorry, Brick. I'm sorry, bro. As I'm just waiting, Brick is just like the horror story. But also, I had seen some other, I just want to talk about kind of some issues I had seen from what I was reading. You know, some people were having issues of even accessing the pre-order page. So some people couldn't really get, like when they were finding the product page, it was like kicking them to a queue to get into the website. And then like when they clicked pre-order, it booted them back out. Like there was some glitches. I've read some things too. This is all anecdotal, but somebody had called Sideshow because they got into the queue. And when it was their turn and they got in, they were pushed back in line.
I heard that.
All the way to the back, like 10,000. And they called Sideshow, and Sideshow was like, we had some technical, like we had a few glitches that occurred is basically what they said. Like we had some glitches. So these people got in, it was their turn, and they got booted out all the way to the back. Like that would have been that. Oh, that would have ended.
Getting so excited and then like, oh, it's still there. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. The thing that freaked me out when I went to order, so I like, you get to this page and you hit add to cart. And then when you add to cart, it kicks you back into another queue of waiting to get back into the website. So I got kicked back out and I was in another queue. Once I hit add to cart, it pushed me back out and it said like wait time 1 minute, but there was like 400 people in front of me that was waiting to get back in. So I'm like, oh my God, like did I just get booted out of what I was doing? And then it ended up loading back in and I was in the cart.
I wanted to make sure that it wasn't overselling and
they were just like gatekeeping the entire process of everybody accessing the website. But then I got to the order page and I was able to order successfully. So it worked out for me. Luckily, I got a good number pull. I mean, that's really what it is. But yeah, I would say overall, like, I don't know. I feel like the process leading up to this was good as far as like you have the RSVP. It was like what? It was 10 days or something, or maybe like in between 1 and 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a good
10
amount.
days or so of like, okay, this is when it's going to drop. So I guess it's nice because then like I'm sure some people in that time period probably forgot about it. The people who didn't really want it. Like if they would have said, we're dropping if they would have announced this and then, or they would have said like, hey, we're dropping this tomorrow, everybody would have been all over 100%, more so than what they already were. So I guess like that part's nice. Brick, I'll let you tell your story maybe, and then we can get into kind of talking about the process of like, if you guys think this process is the right way to do it, or but you can tell kind of whatever, how much detail you want to get into with your your journey.
So as soon as you told me that it was like the timer was on, like, you know, this is where the fun begins, I was like excited, and it lied to me. That's not where the fun began. That's where the stress began. So I'm waiting 20 plus minutes as the timer's going. So I'm there early, and I know I'm not, you know, in the thousands, you know, like a lot of people probably didn't show up until like 10:55, 10:50, 11. I showed up at like 10:39, 10:40, something like that. And then my number was like 3,700 and something. I was like, you know, this sucks. Like, what the heck? You know, I'm thinking, well, why am I this high? You know, I've been here for forever. I won't get into too much of that yet. But then it like paused. It kept saying line pause. And then you had wrote me and said something about like it's gonna reshuffle. Like reshuffle. I was like, okay, well, it might put me higher. It might realize that it's screwed up, right? It might put me higher. No, it put me back. I was like at 4,090 or something like that.
Wow. So you actually did get shuffled back. My shuffle didn't really shuffle me very far. It was like basically the same.
Yeah. I mean, it only shuffled me like a few hundred, but
that matters.
That matters. It still shuffled me back. And, you know, it was very stressful. I do like that it was kind of showing you 50% sold, 75% sold, but at the same time, it was making me more upset because I was like, dude, I've been waiting, you know, I RSVP'd, you know, and my thing kind of leading into the stress level that I was at was whoever RSVP'd probably were not waiting. And when they got the announcement like at 11:03, because that's when I got my text. It was like 11:03, but I was already in. After. So those people that came in all of a sudden probably jumped ahead of me or had a chance to jump ahead of me. And I was like, that's BS. Like, dude, I've been waiting here forever. I've heard people get booted out and then back in, like you were saying, but still had a higher number than me. You know, and I didn't have that issue, but it was just, was a very stressful situation. I really wanted this figure, and unfortunately, it didn't pan out for me. So, yeah, it was very, very hard times.
Yeah, dude.
It's probably yeah. And then I go over to Pop Collectibles. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. And I'm told it's there. I think it was like 763 or something like that. And I've never, call me a rookie. I don't care. I've been on Pop Collectibles to kind of see what the prices are. I've heard of Pop Collectibles. Everybody kind of tells me, you get it like really quick, and you might pay a little bit more, but whatever. So I was like, yeah, okay, 763. I know I'm getting it. This thing's going to probably sell for $800 to $1,000 anyways. Like, why not just get it and know I can at least get my money back if I change my mind, kind of thing. Then come to find out that, shipping is not included. Even though it said shipping $0, I was told that it always says that. And then whenever it's getting ready to ship, that's when they email you, you choose your shipping method. And then it's like an arm and a leg. So I was like, dude, I'm not going to spend like $850, $900. I'm not doing it. So I went to cancel, and I wrote one email. Okay. One email to the Pop Collectibles email. Okay. Mind you, it's like the Pop Collectibles, like it concerns,
customer
contact
service.
us. Customer service email. Emailed him one time, or emailed the website one time. And, I get a response saying, please do not, spam the email when it's midnight Hong Kong time. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was.
So this is obviously from somebody. This is obviously from somebody's cell phone. I'm thinking, oh, if they're closed, they're not going to get it until the morning, right?
Yeah.
So they'll check their email, they'll get it. Right. So, dude, take it off your phone. It was just a rude response. So that's when I was kind of like, yeah, I definitely kind of want to cancel it now. Like, I was getting to that point where, yeah, I'm good with not, spinning an arm and a leg for something like that. It was just a really bad experience for me today. I don't like to be the negative guy. The way Spider-Man went, and some of the other things, the 2.0 video game Spidey and all that was really smooth. I felt like it was a lot smoother. Now, obviously there wasn't thousands of people, but it still sold out in like 20 to 30 minutes. I felt like I got in, I waited like 3 to 5 minutes, and I got what I wanted because I was there. I was able to get it. And that felt like first come, first serve, where this felt very shuffled, which it was, and just not very fair, but I understand. I'm very happy that you got it. I'm happy that, Andreas got one. He said he was kicked out 4 times and was still able to get it, which is awesome. Like, he was still able to get that. So I'm very happy for everybody. But yeah, it was not fun.
Yeah. I think it kind of shows too, like when you look at the Spider-Man figures, and I feel like obviously the Joker was more expensive for one. And I think the price surprised me too. The 410 price, like I thought it was gonna be 450, 475. But with how the Joker went, I was a little bit more surprised at how this one went. But then this is why I say, like, I feel like, and I'm kind of, I guess I have a Star Wars bias, but like Star Wars, I feel like is king when it comes to figures, because this thing went off the rails for how many people were in there, like 10,000 plus people in the queue. I feel like for the Joker, I saw more people talking about, oh, well, I was in the queue for the Joker. Oh, I could have got it, but I decided to pull out because I didn't really.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see how it went. I just wanted to see how it went. I was in the queue. I could have got it. It didn't happen. Nobody did that for this figure. Yep. And then you see people posting online that are saying like, oh, it's something rare. I wanted to try for it. And when you hear these types of things of like people saying like, oh, like it's just something rare. I don't even know if I'm going to want it when it comes out. I just wanted to try for it. And then they get it. That kind of makes you feel shittier too, right? Because you obviously
especially
want the
those
figure,
people that are, especially those people that are buying it just to flip it.
Yeah.
It's like, that sucks for the people that really wanted to.
And I don't really know either. The other thing is there's no avoiding that. There is not one single thing you can do to avoid people flipping it or scalping it, because no matter what you do, lottery, randomization, in a queue, it does not matter. There will be somebody there with their intention to flip. There's no getting around that. No getting around it whatsoever. So Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
rough.
This was going to be figure of the year for me. I was so stoked. I was like, I'm getting this.
What would you have like wanted them to do? Like, what would have been ideal for you as far as like how this worked out?
I personally, okay. So one more thing before I get into what I think they should have done, just so that when I say what they should have done makes a little bit more sense. But another thing is when somebody takes their break at 11 o'clock, knowing that this thing's going to go up at 11, and they're like, I'm going to take my lunch early today, whatever. I need to get this figure. And then all of a sudden it's paused, and then it goes to 11:15. Now I know Pacific time is 9 a.m., but still, like, people are taking breaks from work. People are trying to get this thing no matter where they're at. And then all of a sudden it, like, wait, 11:15, I got to get back on the clock. I got to whatever. It's just that's, and I understand they probably did that because of how busy it was, and maybe even they sent the RSVP text message out too late, and they felt like they did them wrong, so they wanted to reshuffle. I don't know, but from what I hear, they always send out those emails late, so I don't know what the difference is.
Don't trust the emails.
Yeah.
Or the text.
So yeah. But I think they should have taken into consideration, either A, who RSVP'd first, and then when you come in. So if I was waiting and that time clock was going for 20 minutes, I should have been higher. I shouldn't have been lower, or a higher number. I shouldn't have been in the 4,000s when somebody who showed up at 11:03 was in, like 1,500. Like, it should seriously be first come first serve. I know that might be hard, but
and they said it was going to be on the RSVP page.
Yeah.
They said this is a first come first serve. I think that's a fair point. If they're saying this is dropping at 11, the people who are there at 11 Central, if you get in after 11 Central, then you should not have priority over somebody else. I think that's a fair point. I do agree with that.
And then to pause it and then reshuffle.
Yeah.
Like, everybody gets the same chance. Yeah. That's B.
Yeah. And it looks good for them to say, like, well, in all fairness, we're going to reshuffle. And I guess, like, why did they do the reshuffling? Was that because they just had such an abundance of people coming in where they didn't know how to, how this, because obviously there was a way different it seemed like a flow of traffic for this figure than there was for Joker. The Joker didn't get pushed. Why didn't the Joker get pushed back? Like, why didn't the same exact thing happen to the Joker, where everybody got on and they said the line is paused, we need to wait? Like, that tells me that the abundance of people that were trying to get this is probably higher than the Joker. And it seemed like, like I said, it seemed like the people who genuinely wanted the Joker got it, like, for the most part, And this one, another thing is, like, Danny, were you going to say something?
I was about to say, I mean, I kind of wanted it, but I didn't know that you could have a cheap deposit. But
yeah. And also,
no, it would have been great if you would have
there were more of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I would have. I was trying to say to Spotchka, it would have been great if he just waited in line for me, and I could have, paid him back. It would be great.
Yeah, and also, like, this one, also, like, I heard a couple people, like, I was listening to a couple of live streams. Somebody was at, like, they were at 16 or 1,700, and they missed it. Like, they were
Really?
like, this thing was like 1,500 sideshow probably. Like, there were not a lot. So I think, like, the flow of traffic, plus they made this one. It's also, like, questionable. Why make the Joker 4,000 in this one? Why even make this one, push this one to be even more limited? It's just interesting. And this one is not nearly as intricate to do from as far as, like, all the outfit and all the accessories standpoint. The Joker has a lot. It's more expensive and it has a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's just a testament to, like, Joker just sells more. Like, yeah, they don't make that many DC figures, but, like, there's people that, I mean, I know a few people in my personal life that that don't buy really hot toys at all, but they'll buy one-off little hot toys, right? Like, they'll have, like, oh, this is this really expensive Joker figure that's a really limited edition piece next to their, like, Aquaman Trident or something,
Yeah.
So
just buy one-off pieces and stuff like that.
Maybe with, like, the new Artisan series, they're testing the waters, and maybe that's why they came out with two at the same time, to kind of see, okay, one's got to be a little bit more limited. Which one? They chose Anakin, just to see how it would run. What was it going to be? The aftermarket, how rare is this going to be? And in the future, maybe they'll tighten things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
so, what do you think? You were going to say, like, after you kind of explained that, as far as somebody shouldn't be getting in Was that kind of your point as far as what you would have done differently, is let it like kind of make it so the people have priority who were there on time?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So do you think it's
100%.
okay if everybody's there, say they're there by 11? Do you think it's fair to shuffle all those people that are on time?
No, I think they should still. If you come in at 11 flat and the other person comes in at 11 o'clock 3 seconds, it's like a line. Like if I go into a line at a GameStop at a game release, if they even do that anymore, and I get there before the guy, I'm getting the game.
Right.
Like
but I'm just saying. So if say 10,000, all 10,000, say 5,000, say 5,000 people all clicked on this thing, all refreshed at 11 o'clock. How does that get sorted in a way that, like, I'm sure there's a couple few thousand people that are all clicking to refresh at that exact same moment. How do you truly fall into a line? That's like my thought is like, how does it happen?
If it's the exact moment and it's that many people, then sure, a shuffle. But
you got to do something like that. I feel like.
Sure. But we know that not all 10,000 people clicked,
right away.
Yeah.
So it could have phased some people out.
Yeah.
I do agree. Like they could have shuffled people who were there on time and like actually put in the work to be there then rather than pushing it back to 15 minutes.
Now here's something that I might have messed up on, but again, there's no instructions on how to do this or anything like that. I was waiting for that 20 or so minutes and then it said line pause. And then when I hit refresh, right, I got my number, but I didn't hit refresh until like 30 seconds a minute in. Now, the problem is I was scared to hit refresh because I was afraid I was going to lose my number if I refreshed the page and it like put me further. So maybe that's the reason, because I took too long to refresh right at 11.
I did not refresh. They didn't. Mine sat there. So mine sat there for probably a minute, and I did not refresh, and I still got it. So I don't think it mattered.
Okay.
Personally, I think what would have worked better is maybe when you got the RSVP, they would have given you a number per se, right? Let's say RS3-7, okay, is Steve's number. P713 is Brick's number, okay? That's your number that you got, and let's say you had to put a deposit down to get that number to confirm that you were actually going to pre-order. That way they're not just giving out these numbers to people who just are interested to look at it, right? That way there's no line. It's not chosen at random if you do refresh the page. And that way the date that actually comes to pre-order, all these people that have their numbers, you just punch your code in the time that it's time to pre-order, or whenever that time during the day, and just order. And you have like a certain window, like let's say, Brick, you're saying if you're at work or with the kids or et cetera, you have a certain window.
You're saying like a guaranteed pre-order window.
Yeah. That way you have that pre-order window to go ahead. And
I somewhat agree, because I mean, if you can still RSVP and there's still a button to click that you can RSVP, I think to a certain extent you should be able to, for sure. Now that would just make an issue when RSVP first pops up, because then people just click the button. So that would be an issue again.
And then it generates like an RSVP wait list. Like nobody cannot accept any more RSVPs.
If you generated a wait list for that RSVP, the people that missed out on that window, the people on that wait list get that code, the opportunity to put that deposit.
I feel like that's just logistically something that they're probably not willing to do. I think that's probably another part of it. You know what I mean? Like who's going to head that on this website? Like there's logistic things that have to happen for that to be put into place. But I agree. I think like something like that would be good. I
mean, hell, for something as exclusive as it is, I don't know why they wouldn't go the lengths to do something like that.
Well, that's the thing. Like they are the professionals. They should be able to figure something out that would have worked for the people.
Also, like what they did with this Iron Man Disney 100 Iron Man of like, just do a lottery and just pick you RSVP, and you need to RSVP by X date and time, and after that you're going to get a confirmation email whether or not you're on the list to order. Like I feel like that's relatively fair too, but I don't know. There's not really a perfect system, right? I feel like there's not really a perfect system, and it's like this is literally just purely luck of the draw today. Which is fair in a sense, but it's unfair. I think Brick, you made a really good point. I don't think like earlier on, I don't know if we discussed that of like, the people that got there late, when they're saying it's first come first serve, and this is the time it's dropping, and all these other late people can get reshuffled into it.
Yeah.
Like, how much do you really care at that point if you're getting there that late? Like, the minority of people are ones that really, really want it if you're not getting there on time. Because you've had 10 days, almost 2 weeks to sort this, of you being there on time. So, I know other things, like in the minority, there's other people that I'm sure can't do that. But, like, it's just, it just doesn't make sense that the people who were late still got an opportunity. I do feel like that's kind of, They changed the game. They changed the rules of the game in the middle of the game, basically.
Yeah.
Which is not a good, like, to me, not really a good look either. But I want to just address a couple of these chats here. Peyton has said the value of this Anakin could jump more when the Ahsoka show starts. Yeah, depending on what type of flashback we get in Ahsoka. That'll be very interesting to see what they do with that. I just don't I don't see them. It'll be really interesting because Ahsoka's getting, this is getting really good reviews. Like, there's always, these episodes will come out, and then like the next day in the group, someone would be like, looking for X trooper, looking for this figure, because like for example, when they announced the new Rey Skywalker, like the post sequel trilogy saga, everybody's like, that figure shot up in price over $300 for Jedi or for Rey Skywalker.
I'm willing to bet that in this Ahsoka show, that during the flashback sequences, we're gonna because look, Dave Filoni, we've heard, behind the scenes, Cooper's been talking the show up for months now, right? But he's told us, like, this is Dave Filoni's baby, right? Like, The Mandalorian was Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's child. This is Dave Filoni's child, right? This is a continuation of
Dave Filoni.
Of his, right? Of his work. And if he's going to do an Anakin flashback, I'm almost 100% going to guarantee he's going to put him in a Clone Wars outfit, right?
Oh, dude, that'd be so dope.
So you're going to get live action Anakin in the Clone Wars. So that, for anybody who has the Clone Wars hot toy Anakin, you're in luck if that happens. So
that thing could shoot right back up,
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing too with Ahsoka. Like, her figure is, for a minute, people are going to want that again. But they're going to release a new one too. So they have to.
Hopefully,
it'll be interesting to see what they do with the Ahsoka figure if she wears an. I know, like, there's one really quick cutscene in Ahsoka where she's wearing a different, like, Galactic Republic. She has like a Galactic Republic symbol on her shoulder. So I'm wondering, like, what time are they going to be? Is that like going to be like what time period is that going to be part of a flashback? Because that's like a kind of different, right?
I think that's just an outfit change because that's her piloting. I don't know the ship name yet, but that's like
so it might just be for the ship or whatever. That makes sense.
That's like her ship.
But I thought, I wonder if there's going to be an outfit that she's going to wear, where then Hot Toys is going to say, okay, we already have this outfit with the Mandalorian edition Ahsoka because it's the same outfit.
Right.
We're going to do this outfit and change the length of her Leku a little bit, and then release it. But we're probably going to get another.
I could see them having like the same head sculpt, everything's the same, and just a different outfit.
The Leku is definitely
that'd be nice if they did.
It's longer, right?
I can see being maybe the same or a little bit changed slightly, but I think the main difference there's going to be the sculpt of the head, right? Because there's
that might change a little bit.
A few months ago, like in the beginning of the year, there was a bit of controversy, like if you see Rosario Dawson or not in the figure, a big contender for this controversy was Kiko Collects, right? He was talking big game about, like, it does look like Rosario Dawson if you got the figure in hand. If you turn the eyes a certain way, yes, it does look like Rosario Dawson, but in certain angles, no. I think that's going to be their main objective there, is to
maybe change the sculpt a little bit.
Yeah, to really get that likeness down, because the hype for the show is real. They've been promoting the hell out of it. Collectors are going to want a screen accurate Ahsoka.
Yeah. I think we'll get another Ahsoka.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys think, though, that she will be one of the first to be announced from the show, or one of the last?
No,
I think she'll be one of the first.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
I think she'll be late. I think she'll be later because they're still trying to get Ahsokas off the shelf right now.
That's true. Replay has 3 of them right now.
Comic Concepts has them. Their Underground Figures has them. They're all over the place, and some of them are on sale because Sideshow has it waitlisted, of course, but these other companies cannot get rid of them.
Yeah.
I think Brick, didn't I tag you on one in one of the groups that was like $250 shipped or $265 shipped Ahsoka? Didn't I? And then you said, like, you couldn't do it because you had to pay for something else.
That hurts.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to do it because I was worried about this Anakin, but
Yeah, but the Ahsoka was like, it was. I think it was 265 shipped for an open Ahsoka Deluxe, which goes for like 330 or over 330,
335 or something like that.
Yeah, it was 265 shipped.
It was a deluxe, huh?
Gosh, yeah, it was a deluxe.
Gone now.
That hurts because I paid $500 for that figure when it came out.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you get that? What?
Dude,
Where'd you get that? Did you get
though.
that Tim sent or Toys by an Agent or?
Dude, I don't remember. I don't want to say it was Toys by an Agent. I definitely picked up Luke.
He's not that high, right?
I picked up Luke from TBA though, for sure.
Yeah.
Multiverse Daniel though is saying that Savannah Stein is playing Ahsoka as the younger flashback.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you think we get a young version of her,
100%.
and not necessarily like a?
That would be really cool if they did like a younger, like they did but then I don't know because it's not really like. Is that true to the show, or is that a live action, whatever era that figure is going to be in? That's not going to necessarily be marketed for Ahsoka, right?
It depends how much screen time Savannah gets, right? Like if it's just for like a Caloran Beck amount of screen time, probably not, because we didn't see a Caloran Beck figure. If it's for like definitely throughout the whole 8 episodes and like maybe pieces throughout maybe the intros or whatever, we just see flashbacks or however they decide to do it. Maybe 100% we can see it happening, but I would love to have the live action Clone Wars Ahsoka, right? Because some people are a huge fan of the one that they already have.
Oh, yes, because they have like the animated realistic version. So maybe they do a live action.
I think they should.
I've been back and forth because I don't have an Ahsoka yet. So I've been back and forth now that I'm more into the animated series. But now that the show is here,
100%
I'm going to wait.
Because these figures are coming like probably in the next few weeks. They're going to get announced, I would think.
I think that's the next thing they're announcing.
The problem with me, though, is I can wait and get an announcement and pre-order it and get it in a year and a half. Sometimes I want it now, so I might still get one now. You know what I mean? So I just, it would be great to be able to say, oh, I pre-ordered the new one coming out, but then it's July to December 24, and then it gets delayed to March 25 or something like that. So part of me is just like, dude, I don't know. I gotta get an Ahsoka. But
I feel like the moment you do get the Ahsoka, like the day of, or like maybe later, it's gonna announce a new one.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Well, another thing is whatever one they end up I would wait at least until they announce one, because then you can make your decision of like if it's because it's not going to come for another year plus. So you can then make your decision there. Like if it's Ahsoka where you're like, well, I like this other variation of Ahsoka that's already out, then you can make make the call. You know what I mean?
But what I was saying before all that though was I'm really liking the Clone Wars one. Well, I know a lot of people are like, oh, once the new one came out, once the new one came out, everyone was like, oh no, that one kind of sucks. But dude, I like it. It's different than everything else, but it doesn't go with my collection, so that's why I don't have it.
Yeah,
Andreas with the poke up, it could work.
Andreas says, wait for announcement, more to choose from. Sorry, Dana, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Good.
More to choose from. That's kind of what I was saying. Then, he also said, I have both Ahsokas. I would wait for the next version. Want to see head sculpt improvement. Kind of agreeing with what Danny was saying. Beskar Kid is in the house. What is up, bro? You mean haven't seen a Keller and Beck figure yet? Bro, I would love a Keller and Beck hot toy.
Whoa, man. I mean, we didn't even get a Cal Kestis.
Super dope. Cal's coming, dude.
Is he?
Yep. 100%.
That game's been out for months now, bro. Come on.
There's no way they just do a Scout Trooper Commander with no. There's no way they only do that and introduce the Jedi line without. They're doing a Cal.
I give it to the end of the year.
It will happen. He almost said, as far as Anakin, I'm just glad it wasn't as bad as trying to order a PS5 online back in 2020 and 2021. That was a nightmare. Yeah. Zio says he missed it due to work drama. Yeah, that sucks. Going back a little bit too, Mike said these two releases have been so good for the hobby. Yeah, I agree, man. I think this is really good for the hobby. It's like I said, it's really kind of to wrap stuff up on these two. I think it's really, it's brought back a lot of hype. Like it's fun, like generally talking about, like we're going to talk about Dewback and Black Panther briefly. We won't spend too much time on it, but it's fun talking about those. But these things, like this has taken it to another level. You know what I mean? Like this doesn't really happen all that often. It's fun to talk about those other figures and like, oh, I'm excited for that. But these types of drops don't really come all the time. So I think overall it's good for the hobby. And like, I thought it was exciting. I got the figure, but I still thought it was like exciting. I know Brick, you thought it was more stressful. I think it's like an exciting time. And then another thing is, I think, just in general, I feel like sometimes like people can get entitled and like you're always going to get something, you know what I mean? And it's hard when a figure becomes really, really limited to accept like, oh, it didn't work out. But then again, like this can become a good chase figure. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that about you, Rick. I'm just saying in general, like we get spoiled with all these figures that we get that are like, you can go get an Ahsoka right now. You could go get a Clone Wars Anakin right now. But when it comes to this stuff, it's like obviously a lot of collectors really want these things and not everybody's going to get it. And sometimes it's like a hard pill to swallow, right? And it sucks.
Well, here's another way they could have done it though. First come, first serve. Screw the line. Do what all the other sites do. And when it's sold out, it's sold out. If I would have gotten in there, put it in the cart, bought it before somebody else could have, I mean, do it that way. Why have a line to begin with?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the website doesn't crash. Dude, the website's not going to crash. We're in 2020.
Well, I think they could have done also first come first serve, but made it so they're still gatekeeping the entry into the site though. Like this is your place in line that you got, and we're gonna let X amount of people in at a time so it doesn't crash. They can do that. They can do that 100%. Yeah. Any last words to say here about this Artisan Edition pre-order process? Queue process, RSVP process.
I think we covered everything, fellas.
Yeah. I think that was like really good conversation. Appreciate you guys sharing your thoughts. I cannot wait.
Figure of the year,
see this
100%.
in person. Rick, you can.
I'm excited to see.
Rick, if you don't get it by then, you come over and see it in person.
It's not coming out until next year, I guess. But yeah.
And it's not coming out until next year. So we're all gonna be talking about this, and then the hype is gonna die down. It'll be interesting to see what happens kind of when the hype dies down for this over the next, few months here.
Right. And if they do announce a sculpted version before this one is released, will, the aftermarket price kind of go down? Yeah.
I think if they I don't see them announcing a sculpted for this figure until after this one drops.
Yeah. No, I think so too.
Like I think Revenge, like we talked about, I think Revenge of the Sith anniversary would be a good time to use this sculpt on a on a sculpted hair Anakin and make it you can tailor a little bit more to Revenge of the Sith with some different accessories or what have you. Hopefully, I mean, I don't. Then another thing is, what are they going to do with this damn outfit? Because how many times are they going to reuse this outfit before they finally re-up the outfit or do something different with this out? Like, it looks amazing. I really love the outfit, but you could make the materials better for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Daniel says, Fallen Order Cal, pretty please. Yes, dude. I would. Yeah. Yes.
100%.
Yep. Mike says the line is to prevent the site from crashing. They can't process it all at the same time. The queue is a separate website. Yeah, for sure. Also, Mike had said this, like I want to touch base on a couple of these comments back here that he had put. As a teen in the 90s, used to sleep overnight on the sidewalk to get concert tickets. People with jobs couldn't do that and missed out. There's always been winners and losers. Then he says no perfect system and always an element of chance mixed with determination, like life in general. Yep. That's a really good point. Like, yeah, that's life, and these are figures, and like there's more important stuff. But nevertheless, Brick, I'm sorry you had that experience.
I will say it's easier for the people who actually got it.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's easy. It's easy looking back. Like I ordered it and like it went fine for me. But also another thing, like I had been saying on past streams too, if I did not get this today, I would be figuring out a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There would be. I would be on the hunt for this, and I think like.
Would you have gotten it from Pop Collectibles?
No. Nope.
No.
I would have waited just like
Thanks
I have.
for sending me the link.
I didn't send you the link. I just said it.
You did.
I just mentioned it. You typed it in. You typed it in your own.
I typed it in myself. Damn it.
No, it's but yeah, I think I would wait just like I've waited on other figures and tried to find deal. Like there's stuff I'm still waiting on. Tarkin Vader 2-pack. Anybody got a Tarkin Vader 2-pack they want to sell? For a good price, hit me up. Like there's figures I'm just holding off on because like I've gotten so many like different. There's nuances to when you make purchases if you're trying to find, like we've talked about in the past, bundling figures and whatnot, and like there's ways to acquire figures and make your collection work to gain more figures and stuff. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. And like this would be a fun chase figure and one that I would for sure be on the hunt for, like I'm sure many other people, but luckily I scored it, and
I'm happy for you though.
Thanks,
You're a huge Star Wars fan, more so than I am, so you deserve it way more.
And I think
so
too,
I
like
say that.
for you too, it's like you can always come back to this and try to get it, and your Star Wars collection is gonna, like, you have so many other options that you could pick up. Like the hype of this,
and I have Attack of the Clones pre-ordered. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I
think the hype of this is like really present right now, and it sucks. But like in a couple months, you're gonna see these other Star Wars figures in your Star Wars collection. If you're gonna continue to buy figures, is gonna keep growing. And like they're coming out with so much stuff. Like this is one figure. Yes, it's like there's a lot of hype around it and everything, but I feel like this is one figure. You're gonna have a lot of options as far as Star Wars goes. Yep. Would have been really good to have this one. Yes, and you could still potentially get it down the road, but you're gonna have a lot of options. You know.
But I will also say one more thing before we move on. If this would have happened before you sold your dark side, I probably would have bought in your dark side now. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where it's like, no, I gotta hold off because I'm trying to get this, and I have a feeling I'm gonna have a good chance to get them. And then the way it worked out, now I don't have dark side either. It's like, I know I'm being like really petty and like emotional, but it's like all these things just like crumble on my shoulders, and then I'm like, oh, damn it.
Like on that note, Brick, does that make the dark side any like less rare now or more rare?
Because it's not going to change. It's not going to change. I think it'll still.
I think right now,
its value.
Yeah, I think for now it'll hold its value until the dark side. Yeah,
I'm glad that after all that time, I waited to grab that figure, and I grab it, and then announced a new one. I'm like, damn it, bro. Two new ones.
I think you're good. You're good for a couple more years.
Yeah, Mike says he's with you. He missed out too. He missed out too on it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that missed out, man. A lot of people that missed out.
Oh yeah. A lot more that missed out than got it. So
best arcade, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I'm super excited, man. Super excited to eventually get this. I don't know how I'm going to display it. That's what I'm going to have to really think about.
Dude, you got to put in its own, like...
Did you see this new display case that I saw that, like, it's literally, like, its own box for one figure, and it has all this, like, really cool lighting you can do with it? I forget what it is, but it would be really cool to have it in, like, a box like that.
Like a dark red. Super cool.
And also, Mike says, yikes, sorry about the dark side too, Brick. Full disclosure, I sold my... Dark Side Anakin. I had two Dark Side Anakins because I got another one, and then I sold it to Mike Litters. Beskar Kid. Wait, you sold So I bought another one, and then I sold that one to Mike.
When did you sell it to Mike?
Early this week, a couple days ago. Actually, I mentioned it to him a while ago because I put it up on eBay, and I had mentioned it to him a while ago, saying, "Hey, I'm trying to sell my Dark Side Anakin. What I paid, basically." What I paid for it back when I got it, and he wasn't really interested at the time, and then he ended up getting back to me and saying, do you still have it? And then I'd much rather, it should be coming, I think it's probably gonna get there tomorrow, but much rather would have sold it to him. What's that?
Dude, I
seem to recall doing a tier list with you where you said you wouldn't sell it.
Well, I have one. I still have one. one.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have one. I got a second one.
I'm just happy he got it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't some random guy buying it. So I feel way better about that.
Yeah. I'm really happy to have sold it to, I would much rather do that than put it on eBay and whatever. It's just much nicer dealing with somebody that, like that you guys know what I mean.
For sure.
It's easier to sell.
Brick, you got time, bro. You get,
Oh, dude.
I stay wheeling and dealing. Good, man. I stay wheeling and dealing on figures. So I can give you some.
Dude, I told you before, I'm not one to like keep it for too long. I let go.
Yeah, but it sucks. Good. It sucks, man. It would have been really cool to get, but you have already a list that you're thinking about picking up. So Mike says Brick was already hating me because of my Q comments. Now he definitely hates me. I just want to touch on this real quick, but then we'll talk about the Sandtrooper and Dewback and Black Panther. But I wanted to bring this up because I'm sure a lot of people already know this, but they moved the Ahsoka premiere up to Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and then they're going to drop all the episodes at the same time from now on. So now that is so nice because Central Time, 8 p.m. on Tuesday, every Ahsoka episode is going to drop. I just want to do this more as an FYI. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat already know
the whole
this,
series is
yes, they're doing
Tuesday?
Every episode now on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central. Yeah, no, not the whole series. So they're going to do the first two are coming out. They're going to do 2 episode premiere this Tuesday night, And then every
so they're not making
episode,
it like Wednesday, Friday, and
right.
all
They're
that
just
crap.
doing because usually what was happening was it was Wednesday at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
right.
And this was so annoying. I always kept. I forget who I was telling this to, but every single time I would have to basically either stay off my phone or just like it was basically stay off your phone. You're gonna see something related to it because everybody's already watched it early in the morning and then they talk about it all day. Yep. So this will be get home from work, chill for a little bit, watch Ahsoka that night. Don't worry about any spoilers for the episode. And
I'm in that crowd
not
that
have to worry about it.
has been watching all these Disney Plus shows at 2 a.m. when they drop. Right?
Oh, dude.
And it's getting so tiring, especially with Secret Invasion. I was like, this is so annoying.
I wake up at 5 a.m. I can't like just get up at 2 or whatever, 3 or 4 and watch it.
Dude, this is. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say like real quick. This is probably the most hyped I've been for Star Wars this series since probably the start of the sequel trilogy. You know, because everyone was so hyped for the sequel trilogy, right? Like even though a lot of people weren't like huge fans, but before they came out, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, like." We're stoked for that. I will say, like the first season of Mandalorian, I really loved, but when it was like coming up, I was like, it'll be interesting, see what's going on here. But this, before I even watch anything, I'm just super stoked. I'm pumped.
Yeah, like this is going to be just incredible. I just have a good feeling.
I'm excited, man. That means that I think it's either the episode before the finale or maybe it is the finale on my birthday. So that's exciting.
Nice, dude.
Thank you, Disney.
Dude.
Yeah, super hyped for the show, especially Brick. Like you're going through first time watching. How far are you in Rebels?
Oh man, I'm only like midway through season 2.
Yeah, okay.
So I did go ahead because I'm like I'm not going to finish this whole series before Tuesday, right? So I did watch a few YouTube videos on like everything you need to know about Ahsoka before you watch the series, and because I wanted to be excited and pumped up too, but while watching Rebels and while doing these everything you need to know, it's like perfect. And I can still enjoy the series.
When I was building my cases, I turned on season 4 of Rebels, like the final season, and I got through 10 episodes while I was building my cases. Like it was just on.
Damn.
Oh, it was not cool. But yeah, I am. I'm also super excited for this show, dude. Oh my gosh, yes. And Ahsoka's like top tier character, 100%. Yeah. Just like. That's why, and that's another reason why I say it every single time we talk about this. You're missing out if you haven't like at least learned about that content. Like I'm not saying watch it all. Like I would recommend it because it's all really really good. But definitely like you're missing out if you don't know a lot about Ahsoka and the Clone Wars era and like how they flesh out more characters like Maul, Obi-Wan, Bo-Katan, and you learn about Mandalore and just like. There's just so much stuff that they put in that that just elevates Star Wars, especially the prequels. Fleshes
Andreas
it out really
is
well.
Asking if they haven't watched much of the animated, do you think they're going to be lost? No. Dave Filoni has said in several interviews that as long as you've seen Mandalorian season 2, you should be fine.
Yeah, I think my opinion would be like at least know a little bit of the. I would go onto YouTube like Brick did and watch what you need to know before Ahsoka. That would be my recommendation: is go onto YouTube and just watch something like that. If you don't care about spoilers from like Clone Wars and Rebels, I think it would be beneficial to at least know because this is a direct continuation of Rebels, right? Basically that's what it's going to end up being, and like that's what it seems like all like these early preview type things are saying.
All the characters.
All the same characters. So you're not going to know any of the characters. You're not going to know any of the characters really, other than Ahsoka, if you haven't seen anything related to Rebels. So it would be beneficial. I would at least do that if you don't have any other time to watch it. I mean, it's already coming out in a few days, so I would say at least try to watch something like that. What you need to know about Ahsoka before watching it.
Yeah, I don't see people being lost when it comes to story, but I do think that they're going to be blinded by like little cameos or all the fun stuff like little one-liners where they bring something up from like the past or like a certain character coming in. They're not going to get that excitement like Ezra, for example. They're not going to get that.
I was reading some preview stuff about how like. There's going to be stuff for sure that's going to be deeper in the lore of Rebels that some people probably won't get, but I feel like that goes for any medium in Star Wars. There's always stuff in all these live action shows too that's like, oh man, that's from this. Like, oh, that's a direct something that you see in the animated show, but like not everybody gets that deep into the lore. So there's variations in that too. So I think overall, and like the kind of a, small plug for the show I'm gonna be doing on Friday after that is like, I want to get perspectives of different people, because I think that'll be a really interesting talking point of people who have seen the animated stuff and then watch Ahsoka, what their take is. And then, like for you, Brick, you haven't seen much of it, but I mean, you've done your own research, I guess, too. But
yeah,
but kind of what what somebody's take is who hasn't really consumed that versus somebody who has watched all of it. Bones says it's pointless to watch if you haven't watched Rebels or have any idea of the characters in the show. I think from a character perspective, you're not going to know who the characters are. If so, like you should, I would say, consume something.
There is a very good. It was on some website that literally explained every character that's going to be on Ahsoka, like in only a couple of paragraphs. So it was a really quick read, and saying like basically what they did in the Rebels show and what happened to them at the end. It was like a quick little read for each character that's going to be on Ahsoka from Rebels, and that alone, even if you don't want to watch the YouTube video, I think is good. So if anybody wants that from the chat, let me know. I'll send that to you.
Yeah, just like a simple character arc of what you're dealing with and who the people you're dealing with, like a character synopsis and where they're at in the story, and why Ahsoka is like going, why Thrawn's a big part of this. I feel like you're not really gonna know. Like even in Mando, it was like, where's Grand Admiral Thrawn? Well, nobody's gonna know that unless you really have seen why she's searching for Thrawn in the past. You know what I mean? Like there were people who were like Thrawn, and then there were people who were like, who's that? I
actually know of him because isn't there a book? Like a Thrawn
there's
book?
A bunch of there are 2 canon Thrawn trilogies. So
yeah,
6 Thrawn books that are canon.
Okay, I just remember there being one, because I go to the bookstore a lot, so I remember there being like one where it's like his head on the cover. I'm like, and it said like Thrawn or something. I don't know the title exactly, but
yeah, there's a bunch.
That's the first I heard of him. Yeah,
that's the most commonly read one, I believe, is the Timothy Zahn.
Timothy, yeah, he did all of them. He did the EU, and then I guess Legends now, and then he did all the canonical ones. I'm pretty sure too.
Wow.
Rick, I just saw I think it was like a day or two ago, somebody uploaded a complete canon lifetime story of Thrawn. That's like an hour.
Oh, nice.
Long. So
yeah,
if you're wanting,
sweet.
I'll try to.
I might look into that.
Thrawn, dude, shit. His like background too, like how he's a chiss, and like his real name's Mithron Orodo, like, and he goes by Thrawn, dude. It's like once you start getting into like Thrawn, and like Thrawn's just such a cool character. But yeah, those books are worth a read too. They're actually really good.
Is he better than Maul? Stronger?
They're so different. Like Thrawn is a military, like strategic, like character who, like really, he's just way more about like everybody else. Like, a lot of the Empire's just like they underestimate. Thrawn like respects everything about them, learns like their culture, and like learns why they like. He's very calculated.
He's more intelligent. Yeah.
Yes, he's very like intelligent, and he like tries to gain steps ahead by really studying people and like knowing their lineage and stuff. Like it's pretty cool.
Man.
I'm excited for the show to come out, bro.
Dude, I'm so stoked.
You
brought up that we were gonna bring this up for like 5 seconds, and
everyone's saying no. Excited. I think like no, Maul's better. Maul's I would say comparing Maul to Thrawn is just completely different. Like that'd be like comparing like somebody like Tarkin to like a Sith or something like that. You know what I mean? It just doesn't really.
Sure.
That's what I would say. Mike said, regardless of what Filoni says, you will enjoy the show. Plus, Rebels is great. Why not check it out? Yeah, I think Filoni, I had read that quote too about how he said, you don't need to watch it. And then he said, but like, if you were to watch Rebels season 4, like the last one, like, I think he ended up saying in that same quote, like, it's going to make it better if you do watch it because you're going to know more.
Yeah.
So like, I would watch it.
And I think somebody who hasn't watched Rebels watches this and then ends up saying, hey, that was really good. I want to know more about these characters, and then kind of does it backwards. I can see that happening.
Man, I was watching. Yeah,
Darth Maul is a character who rolls up a boulder up a hill to watch it fall down. Thrawn is that guy. Thrawn is just that guy. He's the main character. In his own
dude, Thrawn is crazy, man. And I cannot wait. One of the things I'm most looking forward to is hearing the same voice from Rebels of Thrawn in a live action series for the same character. Like that is going to be so cool.
That deep music that Rebels will be.
Yes, like you're going to hear his exact voice that he does in animation for the character in live action, which is kind of rare for that to happen. And he's going to be in character. Like that's just going to be like. I wonder. I wonder how they're going to present Thrawn in this show. Like, what's the first thing? Because they obviously have been very under wraps. Like you see him walking, you see the back of his head, and then you see one view of his face. Like I wonder how are they going to present this dude?
If they're smart, you gotta take it almost like a Dark Knight approach, right?
Where you gotta hit some banger music.
Right. It's banger music. You have the back of his head. You write something. And he's just walking in his office, right? Maybe you just see the back of his head. You see maybe like a rebel, New Republic officer being interrogated, and by the end of it, you reveal his face, and he just kills him in cold blood. But like that suave, cold voice, you rebel. Like he just calls it down. But like mix it up between Bane and Joker, like that. Make it intimidating. You want to be scared, kind of like the opening to Infinity War, even. Right.
That's what I'm really excited to see is how they, how are they going to make him like as menacing in live action as he's been in like some of this other stuff? So I'm really looking forward to that. Anything else you got? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Danny.
I said this a long time ago, but as much as I love Giancarlo Esposito, I think they should definitely have a scene of Thrawn killing off Moff Gideon just for the shit talking.
Hey man, there's a theory. There's a big theory going on about how Moff Gideon, that was a clone that was spoiler in Mando season 3, but I guess we'll say the ending of Mando season 3, that was a clone of Moff Gideon, and that the real Moff Gideon is still out there. There's
some Superman
some speculation about that, and then it's like, but then at what point do you let that clone thing go? Like how do you ever make, I don't know, it just gets to be too much when you're like a clone of a clone of the clone, then another clone, then another clone. It just gets to be too much.
But, then you can just keep killing people off and bringing it back all the time, and it's never means anything when they die.
Exactly. So
it's kind of like Dragon Ball.
Anything else you guys want to say about Ahsoka?
That's about it.
No, excited. That's about it.
Cannot believe this is on Tuesday night.
Dude,
I'm stressed. My boss's birthday is that day, and we're doing like a work get together, and I don't know if it's like during work hours or post. I'm hoping it's post work hours.
Dang, Danny, I'm sorry you don't feel good, bro.
Look,
I hope you get better by Wednesday.
Dude, I gotta go.
Like I would feel so terrible if he's
that's
like,
that's the first thing I'm texting you on Tuesdays. I'm gonna say, Danny, dude, I'm so sorry you don't feel good today, bro. I hope you feel better tomorrow.
Dude, go get Taco Bell for lunch. Let them see you eating it, and then stay afterwards. Like, oh man, I'm sorry.
I gotta go,
get
man.
Taco Bell.
But
until you do that, and it actually happens.
My coworkers call me out. I was telling him, I was telling my coworker today, I was like, hey man, this shit's getting scheduled on Tuesdays now, so make sure I'm off Wednesday mornings so I can rewatch it and do the recaps. So Beskar said, I'm looking pale. You know what, man? My grandmother called me Casper growing up, dude. I'm pale because of all the spots got drink, bro.
All right, let's move on here because we got a couple figures to talk about. We won't spend too much time on this. We'll probably spend the most time on this one, then we'll touch on Black Panther. But this set drop, man, just crazy. Like we were just talking about, we kind of talked about this already a little bit, but Sideshow Con happened. A lot of people saying, oh, this is going to be graveyard. Like they're never going to make this. Either one, you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah. Dan, you want to give your thoughts?
Yeah, man. So Dewback, what a wild ass release. It gives hope, first of all, for the idea and speculation of, okay, maybe they'll actually release the N1 Starfighter, right? If they're bold enough to release it as a big enough animal as this, it also says that the Blurg sold pretty well for them, right? For them to go ahead and release and have.
I don't know because it's still so readily available and it's on sale all the time.
Right. It confused me, but I'm excited, man, because this is going to go really well for. I've seen in the community. I forget his name, but this guy has like a full Tatooine display in his Modu spaces. And it looks incredible. Like this would look really cool right next to like I guess you could say a cantina diorama or like some troopers walking by, have some Tuskens just like talking shit about the troopers, or have the troopers like saying move along, having them move their arms. Like
you can do.
So much you could do, man. And not only, but like the Dewback looks good too. The rooted look on it looks pretty dope.
Yeah, that does look really cool.
That looks almost like a new style of rooted. Like they've done that almost similar texture with Chewbacca before. This looks almost like a Sherpa, and this looks great on some Jurassic World level detail here, man. That snout is pretty damn detailed.
Yeah, look at this. That's cool.
I don't know if I'll pick this up only because of space. There's a lot of things coming out, so that's all I'll say on that one.
Dude, was it 2.5 feet long?
It's 31.5 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5
crazy.
feet, dude. So I'm thinking of
awesome.
Now I started measuring
crazy.
stuff by like modu cases. Like this is the DF is 48 inches long. So that's basically going to take up nearly 3/4 of a modu, like lengthwise.
So you have to
in a case.
You have to make that whole modu case. I mean, you don't have to. Yeah.
This might be one I would display outside of a case, like on top of the one that I have potentially. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
But dude, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
I will probably pass on it, but I'm definitely getting the Sandtrooper.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So I want. Yeah. No, go ahead.
I love what you said about Jurassic World, man. It kind of goes back to the good old days of Jurassic Park when they actually looked like, like what do they call that?
The Minnesota
animatronics or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just to me it looked better back then. It kind of does remind me of that. Like the sucker's gonna start like moving and it looks awesome. But it's so darn big. And you know what?
You said probably not a pickup for you, but Sandtrooper is Sandtrooper something like you're going to for sure get? You think?
Yeah, I want to get a few troopers. I want a Sandtrooper. I want like the the normal old Stormtrooper kind of thing, and then maybe something.
Dope, dude.
Yeah, man. I might have to get 2 Sandtroopers.
Sandtrooper, the only figure that I want the sand base with because it actually makes sense.
I can appreciate that they went with the New Hope sculpt too with the helmet. Right.
Yeah, dude, they made this thing like a classic.
Right, because I have 2 of the Rogue One Stormtroopers style, and this is, if I had to pick up another Stormtrooper, this is the one I would probably pick up, standalone at least. That Dewback is huge, man. Like, it's gonna be.
Look at, where's the Dewback? Was there a Dewback with an apple? Look at the size of this thing.
Right, like.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, here you go. Here's like in inches. Here's inches. So 14.5 high. 14.5 inches tall from here.
Dude,
that is big, man.
Do we have the room for that? Yes. But like, think about it.
It's like Venom height.
Yeah, like
13.
Are you?
This thing is a foot. This thing is over a foot wide.
Let me ask you, Steve. Where does the Dewback rank on your animal list of Star Wars?
Oh, dude, this is top 3.
Top 3?
Really?
Oh yeah, man. This
Over
is
like
100. This is I'm super excited about this one.
Over like a damn, what are they called from on Hoth?
Like a Tauntaun?
Tauntaun, yes. Damn.
Yeah, I would rather have a Dewback. I would rather have a Dewback than a Tauntaun. I mean, I love the
Tauntaun.
Even a
Tauntaun.
Bantha?
I would put
Or Wampa?
I would say
Yeah,
Bantha. I would say
Tauntaun and
Bantha's up
Wampa's
there.
top 2.
I think a Tauntaun though would be I think a Tauntaun would be a really cool one for them to do. Hopefully this is a sign of them potentially maybe considering something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dewbacks are up there. I also really like Sandtroopers. They're one of my favorite troopers.
Aren't there like flying creatures too, like the from
Special edition?
Yeah. But no, wasn't it like what's I'm gonna sound like I don't watch Star Wars at all. What's the where the fight was between Anakin and Obi-Wan?
Mustafar?
Yeah, aren't there, I don't know, maybe I'm losing my mind, but weren't there like flying flying bats or something? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Bug, right?
Yeah, and it might not even have been there. It was somewhere though. I remember saying that. But yeah, I mean, this might be my 3rd favorite animal from Star Wars. I mean, the Tauntaun, Wampa, and then this for sure.
Beskar Kid says definitely 2 Sandtroopers. One to sit on the Dewback and the other in the Luxor droids pose. Yeah. Mike says I feel like a genius because I just loaded up on Tuskens and Troopers in anticipation for this. Yeah, dude, nice.
So you guys know what you have to do though, right? Like you have to get the Cantina Lego set, build it, put it in your case, and then put this next to it.
There you go. Well, you need to be building a 1/6 Cantina out of Lego.
That'd be dope.
There you go.
Beskar Kid says this will fit sandwiched between my blurgs and the DF-120 measured today. Dude, this is good to know because I still need to pick up a blurg. I'm gonna get one at some point. So maybe I'll put him in a DF. Man, put it.
I just think it's a crime we don't
blurred
have
too.
Wampa,
Nice.
You know?
I'm 100% like this is what I'm gonna be. This is what I'm. This pose looks sick right here. This trooper is one of the dopest troopers I own. 100%. This Sandtrooper. It is just so cool, man. And this that like now trying to get this is gonna be not fun.
Man,
because you're not this trying to find this Sandtrooper is gonna be at this point it's already wasn't cheap. That one's probably gonna climb, unfortunately. One thing I'll say about this too, like this is I'm 100% gonna get this. I'm probably actually gonna pre-order here pretty soon. The one thing I really like about this is you get the option here, right? Like this option is kind of puzzling of like Dewback and Dewback Deluxe for $30 more. You get like the deluxe version exclusive articulating jaw and the swappable arm.
Yeah.
Why not? I guess my only thing would be why even do a Dewback and a Dewback Deluxe? Just do a Dewback Deluxe.
Right.
Or I guess if you want to save $30, the only reason you would get this one, I guess, is if you like this look and you don't want the other one. I would prefer to have. The only reason I would get this one is if I bought this and I wanted two of them, because I'd want one with the articulate. So if you're gonna buy two Dewbacks, you would want one with the arm in a different position and the mouth in a different position. You know what I mean? Two Dewbacks would be so cool to have, man. It's really hard to justify. Like that price is like pretty crazy, but I think you save. So like a Dewback, $255 and well, I guess it would be this one, the deluxe. So $485 plus $255. You're saving some money if you get this set for $700. But what do you guys think of the price on this one?
I personally think the price is pretty decent for what you're getting. I mean, I really do. I mean, you look at like the vehicles that Hot Toys comes out with and their prices, and I mean, this is pretty much the same size as a vehicle. Plus you get a Sandtrooper with it. Yeah. And you can switch out its leg. Now, obviously, a vehicle you can it lights up and the doors open and whatnot. But I think this is a pretty good price with what you get.
I mean, this is I'm right there with you, Brick. This is relatively like the same kind of value as a vehicle, right? Because it has that much presence on the shelf, especially for Steve, man. I think you should go ahead and pick up two, please, as we would say on the tier
two
list.
Dewbacks?
Yeah, man.
The only way I'm getting a second Dewback is if one goes on significant discount. Because there's just so much to buy. And like also look at the release date, you guys.
True.
Guess what else is dropping at this time? Artisan series figure or Artisan Edition figures. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be a biz. I gotta put this I gotta make sure I put this stuff on my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Daniel just said, for that price, man, I wish they would do a Jabba on the throne. It's a Return of the Jedi 40th. This is if they can make this, they can make a Jabba on the throne. You know what I mean? It's high. It's very high. Mike says I've got that cantina set. Brick, good idea. Tauntaun with the guts accessories. So this is like, dude,
if this sells, they'll do more of this size. But if it doesn't, I mean,
I think this is going to be, I also think, a really interesting one of how many of these are they actually going to make, because we know, like, do you guys think this goes waitlist?
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do. 700 though. Which I will say no for the moment.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be right away, but I think it will before it's released. Yeah. I mean, all the vehicles pretty much do. So. Yeah,
I think I could also see like this version going waitlist. And maybe like the separate
like
ones.
The double pack.
Also, I think this Sandtrooper will hit waitlist.
100%. The Sandtrooper.
The Sandtrooper will go.
Just the way that Hot Toys are going waitlisted lately, anyways. To begin with, I could see it happening.
Andrea says, "Is this sell well? What do you think the next Star Wars creature will be?" I say Bantha. Ooh, I don't know if they'll do a Bantha. Bantha's so
Wampa
massive.
Should.
Dude,
Wampa would
100%.
be. I think Tauntaun. I would like to see Tauntaun, like do a 2-pack with like either Hoth, Luke or Han. I think that would be super dope. Tauntaun would be my first choice. Yeah, I think a Wampa would be so cool, man. But if you do,
I would buy a Wampa.
they would if they did the Wampa, then they have to do Hoth Luke, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to do. You can't just.
Now,
have
how
the
big
Wampa.
do you think the Wampa would be?
It would be
2.5
massive,
feet
dude.
tall. Like
It'd be pretty massive.
It would be big.
It'd
Because
probably
I
be
wonder like what's the size of a Wampa compared to Luke in the movie.
I want to say it's the size like
You're probably looking at a
slightly-
2. Yeah, you're probably looking at a 2 of 2+ feet.
yeah,
I'd say
I would say it's about as
Maybe
tall as
2.
this is long, right?
slightly bigger than Carnage.
Maybe a little taller.
Be
Yeah,
big,
slightly
dude.
bigger in Carnage.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mike
I can
makes a
see
good
it.
point. Everything goes weightless now. If the Barks
Yeah.
did this, well,
Yeah.
I cannot. I need to get my Bark
Yep.
speeders, man. I'm still waiting on my Bark speeders to ship. Yeah. I need those. Any other thoughts on these ones, guys? We don't need to spend too much time on it. I'm just really happy they announced it.
I'm happy for the Star Wars community, brother. This is
And
a win.
I think like with it being original trilogy, I think original trilogy is a big,
Oh,
a big
yeah.
pull as well. Anytime there's an original trilogy, original trilogy drop, it usually is probably going to sell better than the rest of the stuff. Like I can see a
Yep.
blurg, like the blur. I can see why I could see more people buying this than they would the blurg. To be
100%.
honest,
Same.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Original trilogy attachment.
But yeah, one thing I didn't expect is for this to happen so quick. Best Cricket says
Right,
1/6
kind of
Wampa
came out
would
of
be
nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Yeah, exactly. 1/6 Wampa would be about 16 inches tall. There you go. Just say I don't really know
That's
how the
not-
scaling would be. I'd have to actually look up the
That's
height.
not bad
but
then.
Yeah, 16
Just a
inches. That
little
wouldn't be
over a
that.
foot.
That wouldn't be that bad. But yeah, this like for them to just talk about this. Well, excuse me, for them to just talk about this, and then drop it in that short amount of time from Sideshow Con is like, yeah, pretty exciting. They're just pumping, and for them to do it on the same day of I think it's just hilarious. They did it on the same day of Artisan Anakin. I just think that's funny. Mike says I have the blurg and I love it. A lot of people don't realize it goes all the way back to the 80s, not Mando. I would like to get a blurg at some point. All right, shall we move on?
Let's do
We'll
it.
talk about the last figure here, and then we'll probably wrap it up. I want to talk about this figure, this Black Panther. This is like I always talk about. There's always figures that try to pull me out of primarily collecting Star Wars, and like this one has had my attention for a while. I almost actually got this, and then it went waitlist. And I know there's still other avenues to get it, but I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up necessarily right away. Brick, you want to give your thoughts on this one here first?
Dude, I need a Black Panther, but I missed it. Just like you, I was thinking about it. I missed it, and I do want it, and I probably will get this figure before the year ends. I mean, I need a Black Panther. Look at my Marvel shelf. There's a few characters I still need, and I think he looks really good. I mean, he looks a little bit more filled out than more in shape, filled out a little bit than his first version, and you need a Black Panther, man.
I love this original suit. His original suit just looks so badass.
Yeah, for sure. But this is just a staple in Marvel history. The way this came out, and need him on my shelf for sure.
How would you display this?
Oof. I'd want him full suit.
Yeah, full suit.
That's okay. This is cool too, though, with his mask off.
Yeah.
That whole thing. So I'm either that or like the whole suit where he's like kind of in attack mode, I would say.
Yeah, I think the only thing I guess about this figure for me is like some of this is, I guess he doesn't wear this hat. He doesn't wear this exact helmet, like this like headpiece. He only wears this when he's in the fight, the fight scene, like when he's in the like on the edge of the cliff for like the king fight. So I guess like some of it seems like they took, the more I've looked at it, it seems like they've taken different bits and pieces of different parts of the character and kind of thrown them all into this package in ways that I probably wouldn't display it. Like I wouldn't do this. I would probably either do something like this looks cool. I think like either like something like a pose like this or like something where he's just in full suit. And it looks pretty it looks pretty good as far as posability goes here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up.
As long as he doesn't crinkle up too much.
Yeah. It probably won't be anytime soon, but nevertheless, I do want to get a Black Panther. Also, like, yeah, Chadwick Boseman. It's really sad. Obviously, they passed away.
Yeah.
And, I would like to have like this character in my collection at some point to stand next to my only other Marvel character, Stealth Suit Cap.
So, but why would you choose this over other figures?
Like over other Marvel figures?
Marvel.
Yeah, I just like I like the character more than some other ones. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and you like the movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first movie more than the second movie, but
same.
Yeah, obviously, but yeah, I like the character, and I like this version of the character as far as the suit goes. It's just it's tough, man.
That's a cool pose. I like that.
You can do some cool poses. I think I saw in here too. It said like they added in like this little like foot articulation too. Yeah, so you can like nice. Really get him in some probably cool, just cool dynamic poses, enhanced muscles.
Yeah, they do that with Spider-Man figures a lot.
Yeah, like this type
of like with those toes like that.
Like you could do some cool, like something like this where his toes are bent and stuff. I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how I would like that, if I would dynamically pose it or not. But yeah, this one's got my attention. This is like, I think Brick, I sent you at one point like my most wanted non-Star Wars list. I keep a running list of all the stuff I bought, all my most wanted Star Wars that I still want to get. I keep a list, and then I have this non-Star Wars running list of ones that I might want to get. Beskar Kid says would be nice to have that option on clones. Hell yeah, it would be nice to get the option of like a bendable foot on Troopers. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Mike says I like the character more than I like the movies. It's a great looking figure, but I'm not a Marvel collector, so I'm safe here. Yeah. Spotchka.
Oh,
what you think, bro?
See, honestly, man, I used to have the original Black Panther movie edition suit, and it was a pretty good figure. I think the proportions were a little off. This one, while I think it's an improvement over the original, I don't think that they've mastered the proportions exactly. Some of the poses in there, I think the shoulders look a little off. I don't think that the chest looks 100% great all the time. I think when he's just like in a museum pose, he looks great. But when it comes to like him with some of these dynamic poses, I think that some of the proportions look a little wanky, a little off, but I think it's a solid piece. My main issue with this release, though, especially with Chadwick being passed, they reused the exact same head sculpt that they've used on the movie edition Black Panther figure. And I brought this out tonight because I mentioned behind the scenes to Steve that I would hook him up with this and for this release, because I know he's probably going to pick it up. It is the Max Nut T'Challa head sculpt that's extremely rare now. And this looks exactly like Chadwick Boseman. That's Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. This right here on screen is not. That does not look like Chadwick to me. Chadwick has very distinctable lips. It's not present on the figure. Also, the eyes. He looks. I don't know. He almost resembles. It just doesn't look like Chadwick to me. It just looks like a different actor portraying Black Panther, which, is sad as that is to say right now.
It's too smooth.
It's too smooth. Like,
yeah.
Once again, I'll pull this up, and this isn't even the best paint job on the Max Nut, but it's still miles better compared.
Yeah, the Max Nut looks pretty good. I still think this one looks pretty good, but yeah, I think like some of these alternate heads that I've seen look better.
It's just the hair's inaccurate to the movie. It doesn't look right. You asked how I would pose it, or how Brick would pose it. Personally, I would probably put it with the airport scene, given this is the Civil War primary suit, because he only had this one for like 20 minutes of the movie. So airport scene, fighting Captain America would be cool. Can have him kicking his shield or something. The Wakanda Forever pose is cool too, but I don't know. Just go back to that last photo. You see that chest? Just something seems off. Something seems wrong. I don't know what it is. It's uncanny valley to me. Helmet on though, for sure, and it looks pretty good. Not trying to be a negative Nancy, but it's just like their second attempt at this figure, and it's making me wonder why they didn't go.
I don't think they did they update the head sculpt? I don't think they did. It's the same one, isn't it? Yeah. So like you would have thought they would have maybe just like tweaked the head sculpt. Especially it almost seems like this is just a release of like they know people missed out on it, so they're coming out with another one, and they're probably not gonna, this is probably the last one they're gonna do. I don't really see them doing another one beyond this.
They announced this like the weekend that Wakanda Forever was coming out.
Yeah.
So the Black Panther hype was very real. It was a bittersweet time. And I was offended back when it came out back in November when they announced it. I was like, what the hell, y'all? Like, you're announcing a new Chadwick figure with no new head sculpt. The man's passed away. Like, show some respect. Put that respect on the name. Like, you can master some of these other head sculpts.
Yeah, they could have done something real cool as far as like they could have done like memorialize it, I guess, a little bit better, if that's the right word, of like doing some type of like something special for it as far as that goes. I think that would have been like a cool hair, like a tribute, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
His hair's poofier in the movie, man. He does not have almost like a buzz cut like that's on the face. That drives me insane. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy they didn't update the sculpt at all, but I can see why it would have been nice if they did. I can see why they didn't. You know,
just pick this up, Steve, and I'll hook you up with this. That way you can have a decent Chadwick head. Okay?
I need to figure out how to mount it because, like I said, I saw that picture earlier. Somebody said you can't mount that sculpt on it.
I don't see why not. Somebody in the comments.
Well, it makes the neck look. It makes the neck look longer. I think that's the one issue.
See, okay, that issue I had the same with the other figure, and I added like a little, the rubber pieces that used to be in the detofs that would be underneath your like glass frame to like make sure it wouldn't break or bounce. I put that wrapped around the peg that I put inside, and it weirdly made it not look weird for whatever reason. That worked. So if you do a little bit of DIY around the house, find a little bit of rubber pieces in there, you can
figure something out.
Yeah, figure something out.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Any final thoughts on this figure, you guys?
Other than my disappointment, no.
No.
All right. Well, we didn't talk about those figures for too long, which is fine because we're already pushing over the 2-hour mark here. With that being said, I need to add in. I will add in after this, but I didn't have time to add in your guys' links for your socials because this was impromptu and I did it relatively quickly. But I'll add those in the description on this video. I feel like a lot of people who are in the chat already, know who you guys are, anyways. But go check out their channels. Danny, do you want to talk about just quickly what you have coming up here? On the channel here, on channel Instagram.
I have been working with a few ideas. I have something in the works that I'll keep secret right now, but it is a new series that hopefully turns into a video series, and I am currently writing my first video for spooky season. So a couple of those videos coming out, and as Joey and Austin Nicholas had mentioned, we are meeting up next month. I'm flying to Austin to Arkansas, and then we're going to go to Texas and visit Joey and make some content out of it and just have a great time. Other than that, man, I'm just excited for Ahsoka, man.
Hell yeah.
It'll be a hell of a time. This is one good time to not only be a collector, but a good Star Wars fan too. Season 3 kind of left a bad taste in the mouth for a lot of people, I feel like, and I'm hoping that this is what pulls people back in. So
yeah, this Ahsoka snuck up so fast, man. This month has just been crazy.
The whole year is just kind of flown by. So
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Cool, Danny. Make sure you guys in the chat go check out Danny's stuff. Good old Spotchka.
Good old Spotchka.
Brick, what do you got coming up on the channel? I don't really think I've talked to you much about like kind of what your plans are in the in the near future with your channel or what's on the docket.
So just whatever I'm in the mood for, man. I'm here to have fun, so I don't want to feel like I'm forced to do a Hot Toys video if I have to do a Hot Toys video. I don't want to feel forced to do a Lego video. Started off as Brick Artemis because of Lego, right? So I want to talk about what I find fun in the hobby when I find it fun, and I don't want to like overdo it. So, but yeah, I mean, other than doing Wolfpack Wednesdays every Wednesday night, with Jedi Knights Watch and Dilo the Collector, and having a random guest on there every now and then. Sneaker, you've been on there twice, so I mean that's been a lot of fun. And just trying to put out a video once a week. I think my last video was a Hot Toys collection, but I didn't even really talk in it while I was showing my figures. I just kind of wanted to put something out and kind of an update of the collection, because the last one I did, I've gotten like 5 or 6 more since. Just crazy how fast that goes. But yeah, I got a couple Lego videos in the pipeline coming up. You know, a lot of sets are retiring at the end of this year. Things have kind of changed up a little bit, so talk about some of those sets, which ones to buy. And before they do, speaking of, I think I don't know who said it, but somebody was talking about the Black Panther bust that would go well with the Hot Toys. That thing has gone down like $250, $250, but it's just, I don't think it looks very great, and I think that's why it's like half off. But for that cheap, you know, you never know. But that's retiring this year, so you know, videos like that.
Yeah, nice, dude.
Don't want to get into the Lego stuff and the Hot Toys community for you guys, but
dude, it's cool. I like hearing about kind of all the different stuff. So everybody go check out Brick Artemis. Yeah, dude. I like watching. I like watching your like Hot Toy stuff, but also the Lego stuff too. You know, I like seeing. I think Legos are cool. I just couldn't.
Did you guys ever see my my video where I compare minifigures to the Hot Toy figure?
No.
It's super bad.
Oh.
It's got like 60 views. It did so shit, but
when did you do that?
It was kind of, man.
Recent?
That was probably February.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It was a while back.
That's kind of
when
like
I first started.
I haven't seen it.
It was that time when like a lot of people were doing it too. Like I saw like Patrick on TikTok was doing like they throw like a fake grenade in the room, they turn it over, and it was like Lego. And Hot Toys.
Right. Yeah. Well, this was actually like me talk like a video, not like a short. This was like comparing the two, trying to be serious that like the Lego minifigure could beat out the Hot Toy figure, but obviously no. You know, like just to have some fun, to piss off some of the Hot Toys guys I knew. So just to kind of get them going.
Yeah, nice. But, cool, man. Well, everybody go check out these two guys' channels. Check out their content. They're both on Instagram as well. I'll put that stuff down in the description after this. And then I have a collector tour episode coming up on Monday. I'm awaiting confirmation of the guests. So it's going to happen regardless. If I have to have a backup plan and get somebody else on, I will. But that's going to be Monday, probably 8 or 8:30 collector tour. If you guys aren't familiar, I interview collectors, kind of focusing on their collection journey and their collecting journey, I should say, and then you know kind of how they navigate the hobby. So it's more focused on the collector. Really fun show. You guys have both been on it actually. So
yeah, one of my favorite shows right now.
Oh yeah, dude, appreciate it, man. Yeah.
They make for entertaining ass rewatchability.
Dude, they're really. I've really been enjoying doing that show. So I appreciate the compliments. And then Friday, I'm doing a new limited show on my channel after Ahsoka, which is just gonna be talking about Ahsoka. Maybe reviewing the episodes, getting the perspective of different people who either have seen Rebels and Clone Wars and how that translates over, and then not. So Mike Litteris is going to be on the show with me. He actually was one who I was talking to who basically kind of gave me the idea of like, oh, have you thought about doing like an Ahsoka show? And I was like, dude, that's actually a great idea. And I said, hey, you need to come on the show because it's your idea, dude. So we're going to be on, and then Graham from Jedi Knights Watch is going to be on the first episode as well. I'm not exactly sure the format as far as how that's going to go week to week, but it's going to be Friday nights. I think it's at 8 on Friday. I'll have a definitive time put out, but yeah, it's gonna be a busy week. It's gonna be a busy week. Collector tour, Ahsoka on Tuesday, very hyped for it, and then we got after Ahsoka on Friday night. Very excited. That may change. The day could potentially change because now it's I don't know. We'll see. I was gonna say because it's on Tuesday nights, but there's a lot going on. Wolfpack Wednesday. And Thursday's Copper Drop, so maybe not. I might just have to stick with Friday. I'm like, there's always a lot going on midweek. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me. I know this is like kind of impromptu. I was looking for some people to stream with because I was like, there's a lot going on, a lot of fun stuff to talk about. And like I've been talking about it with you guys. So appreciate both of you guys being on. I had a lot of fun. So and then of course, thank you everybody in the chat tonight. Always love talking to you all and kind of pulling up your comments and just like, that's always a lot of fun. With that being
on, dude.
Oh,
so
dude,
much. This is so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
First stream with Brick, dude. This is awesome, dude.
Dude, oh yeah, man. It was good to get to know you. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to get these shoes, bro.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, dude, those shoes are fire. Crazy.
I had
Dude,
fun making
can't
them.
wait.
With that being said, everybody, I hope you guys have a great night, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.